This podcast is brought to you by JList.com. Right now on JList.com, they're giving out free Valentine's Day stickers of cute anime characters on all orders. And of course, JList is a great place for you to buy anime import PC and console games. They have a huge variety of Japanese snacks, figures, including your favorite Nendoroids, tons of anime and Japanese culture magazines, tons of hentai goods as well. And of course, with any of those orders, you're going to be getting a free cute Valentine's Day anime character sticker. So head over to JList.com for all your anime shopping needs. And now it's time to start the podcast.
来てくれてありがとう You're listening to the Anime Addicts Anonymous Podcast. Take your anime addiction to the next level at AAAPodcast.com/join. And now, here are your anime addicts.
What's up, everybody, and welcome to the 456th episode of the Anime Addicts Anonymous Podcast.
Yeah.
My name is Kazuo. I am joined today by a man rocking out with a headband for some reason.
Hey, I am a pirate.
Oh, a pirate.
It's
okay.
Gasparilla, baby.
All right. I thought you were kind of going like a salary man after work on a Friday at a bar. So I thought it was like a tie for a minute.
I bought this headband at the party store, and it was in the pirate section. Damn it.
And that's of course Mitsugi. We also have from Cincinnati, Ohio. Say hello to
Who's that?
Mando.
Oh, me?
Hey, yes.
Hi. Hello. I'm here. I'm sick and my voice is bad, but I'm trying my best.
Mandy, aka Mengi, aka Mando, aka the Manga Mama.
Ganbare! Ganbare Mandi!
And we've also
Mengi?
got Enzo from Brooklyn. Enzo, what's up?
Yo, is it Enzo from Brooklyn? Yeah, I'm doing great. It's really cold, but again, that will never stop me from creating this premium content and art for you guys. Wow.
That's right. It may be cold there in the Great White North, but it's hot here.
Emphasize
in the studio.
art.
We're dropping heat rocks on that bitch ass.
Of course,
I would love some heat rocks on my back right now. Wow.
Mm-hmm. That would be nice. You can always find us on our website, guys. AAAPodcast.com. You can go to AAAPodcast.com/join to sign up and create an account.
That's right.
Get access to all the bonus content we provide.
That's right.
We just recorded a Hobby Addicts.
We did.
Which was a lot of fun. You can get that.
Yeah.
You can also get our after parties, our hentai episodes. Just hundreds and hundreds of hours.
Literally hundreds of hours.
Of podcast goodness for just a few bucks.
It's like something like 450 plus exclusive
That's
episodes.
so much time.
Yeah.
Kazuo did
You made it
a
sound like it was a burden.
a top 10 countdown of his favorite
Fine.
Dragon Ball movies in the Hobby Addicts.
I did.
I talked Bird Box.
Yes.
We had a little bit of video game talk with Mandy. We talked some Catherine. And Enzo did an esports update.
Esports controversies.
I'm like looking forward to like being like an esports guy for the podcast on Hobby Addicts. I
All of-
love that shit, guys. It's awesome.
All of that on the Hobby Addicts.
That's right. You can also find us on our Facebook, facebook.com/groups/AAA podcast, and on Discord, where just people are constantly hanging out. You can find a link to our Discord from the website, AAApodcast.com. Head over there, join us in the Discord, watch anime together, play video games with people, read manga, join in on the manga club. It's always a good time.
Oh, I have a quick update. Our next manga club was Genshiken, but we changed it. Genshiken will be the next one. Now, the one after next. The one that we're doing next is The Promised Neverland. We decided to do that since it's currently airing.
That makes
So we
sense.
thought it'd be interesting to discuss it alongside the anime. So that will be the 30th of January, and then Genshiken will be the 13th of February.
Nice. So head on over there and jump in on that action.
Did you notice that my headband perfectly matches our background?
It does, Mitz. I did notice that.
Absolutely perfectly.
Amazing. Did you know that my ear cups on my headphones match our background as well?
Well, sort of. The ear cups are a bit burgundy.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Burgundy.
So we have a revision to our hentai episode format.
Special announcement.
we did a meeting. We had a meeting last week, and we decided that we're going to revise the hentai episodes to make them a little more enjoyable and a little bit more structured for people that are listening. We are
more about hentai too, just in general.
So the first episode of every month, we're going to be doing a recap of the prior month's hentai, in which case, in which we're going to be doing like short reviews of some of our favorite hentais from the prior month. We'll like each pick one, and then we're also going to be taking a few minutes to actually do sort of like a little dice rolling game where we will take turns picking our hentai for the following month, and that's going to be at the beginning of each month. And we're also going to be doing a second hentai episode every month as we normally do, which is going to be taking place largely of hentai mailbags, news topics, fan fictions. We've done live reads of hentai fan fiction, which
have been ridiculous.
Hilarious.
It's so much fun.
We just completely disgrace ourselves.
I love it.
we have no problem disgracing ourselves for your
Are you
entertainment.
kidding me?
I will read anything on the hentai episode. So
Yeah, I do want to draw attention to, you mentioned hentai mailbags, and we should make sure people are all aware. There is specifically, isn't there a hentai mailbag button?
The same place you submit mailbags.
Yes.
You can also submit hentai mailbags, whereas you don't have to like see any hentai or anything when you're submitting them. It isn't like it's all, there's nothing dirty about it. You're just submitting a question that would be of a more questionable topic.
Yes, more
Subject
adult-related
matter
questions or topics you would like for us to discuss.
Like, what's the deal with Mosaic? I don't know.
Wow, okay.
What's the deal with
All right.
airline food?
oh my god,
right.
Or
Seinfeld.
whatever it is. So, yeah. So we're always trying to make the content better for you, and we have some more surprises coming down the pipeline as well, I believe. But I think we should hold off on that for now until we know more.
Guys,
about
we've got some stuff.
we've
coming
got some
that-
stuff cooking, boys.
Oh, I'm so.
We are about to rock your friggin' world.
2019 is it's our 10-year anniversary for one. This is the year of the Anime Addicts.
Yes. Cheers, boys.
It is the year of the addict.
Did we also have a couple other announcements here? No, I
Yeah,
think-
so we're still doing voting for our anime Oscars.
Yes.
2018 Anime Oscars voting is on the website. You can go to the website, scroll down a tiny bit, and you can't miss it. So if you haven't submitted your votes yet for your favorite anime of 2018, please go to the website. Again, it's AAAPodcast.com, as if you don't already know, and you can submit your vote for your favorite shows. And of course, I wanted to just say one last time, and then I'm never going to say it again because nobody will ever follow me anyway. I am now on Twitter, so if you would like to hear me talk about nothing important ever,
if you want to hear him rant about the Patriots,
that's right,
and
or about killing Moe girls and pushing them into the pit. We don't actually want to kill the Moe girls,
no,
because the key is to have them fall eternally.
You want them to suffer
into the darkness of the pit. That's right.
They can't suffer.
People don't understand that the pit is eternal.
It is. It's an endless void of despair. So we don't want to kill the Moe girls, but we will indeed have sermons and instructional videos and sessions on how to properly kick, the proper form of which to extend your hips and give a solid kicking into the pit of hell at Pope Mitsugi. That is at POPEMITSUGI on Twitter. And I'm never going to say it again.
You spelled that right. Well done.
I'm never going to say it again because if I keep saying it and no one follows me, I would just feel sad. So I'm not going to say it again. This is the last time I'm going to say it.
And just to be fair to the other hosts, we should also mention
everybody else just pimp yourselves.
Enzo Mandy.
Yeah.
Hello.
Sure.
If you want something more lighthearted that doesn't involve killing Moe girls,
How dare you?
follow Mandy at AAA_Mandy with an I.
With an O.
Make sure don't fuck up the I because you won't find her.
No.
Mando.
There is no O.
You can call her Mando, but her Twitter handle is Mandy.
It is Mandy, and
she's
I
magic.
tweet cats. I tweet about cats in video games.
It's true.
And shit posts. And yeah.
And
Yeah,
Enzo,
if
where
you
you at?
want,
Ferrets?
if you want nonchalant observations of life in a humorous way, and pictures of probably ramen and us, and like I do voice my opinions on anime I'm watching in the moment too. You can follow me at Enzo Badia, ENZOBADIA. You can follow me both on Twitter and on Instagram. I would appreciate the Instagram follows, but the Twitter ones are very much appreciated as well. So thank you guys.
Yes, and I am at what am I at? AAA Kazuo. That's
Simple
right.
enough.
Help me get more followers. I don't know. I'm currently at 728.
You've been growing.
I have been growing,
Yeah.
and it's all because of me just shit posting. It's all memes and terrible jokes.
Shit
All right.
posting is the best kind of posting.
Can I give a quick shout out to one of the followers from the podcast on my Instagram, Jay Prosy. he reached out to me this weekend looking for Japanese recommendations for New York because he's visiting for the week, and I gave him quite a lot, and he was very grateful.
That's awesome.
And I want to
So
say,
that's what you can do if you follow me.
and lastly, before we get the show started, I want to just announce one more time that Icy Rose is now doing our social media.
Yes.
So big thanks to him for helping out, and I hope you all be kind to him on Facebook and Twitter. So thank you to Icy Rose.
Yeah. All right. Well, on today's episode, nice.
It was necessary.
On today's episode, we are going to be doing a very interesting main topic that was suggested by Yotaru Vegeta,
That's
who is
right.
a frequent suggester and writer-inner of the podcast
That's right.
for many years at this point. And that is voting the studio off the island. Basically,
Tribe spoken.
oh God, really? You've got those drops ready? So we're going to be going over some of the most popular and prolific anime studios and reviewing their most recent catalog of shows and discussing whether or not we feel that they should be voted off the island.
That's right. Travis spoken.
And our review for today is going to be a little show known as Banana Fish.
Banana fish.
Yep.
No, that's the wrong song, Mitz.
I can't. You know, I don't blame him though, because that's exactly what my brain was doing the whole time.
Banana.
What song is that? Are you trying to do? Yeah, that's
fish.
Banana.
Thank you, Mandy.
Banana fish.
Mandy's got it right. Mitz is an uncultured swine with the wrong
Mitch,
song.
aren't you
Damn.
at this point the most musically experienced one out of the four of us?
It's the song from the Muppets.
Just because I don't sing the song correctly doesn't mean that I'm not musically experienced. It just means that I don't give a shit.
Okay, that's fair.
Banana fishes.
jeez.
The banana fishes.
Anyway, guys, it's
Oh my
time
God.
for the big news of the week.
おー、大ニュースです。It's time for big news of the week.
Spice and Wolf is getting it. No, I'm just kidding. Spice and Wolf is, there was a VR crowdfunding campaign on both Campfire and on
Interesting.
Kickstarter. They were trying to raise not a very large amount of money, but they ended up raising way more than they wanted to. A combined nearly $700,000 on the two platforms. And there is going to be a virtual reality Spice and Wolf anime on HTC Vive, Oculus Rift, and other platforms, of which I assume will include other... I don't know what else it'll include. Probably PlayStation VR, maybe, because it's one of the most common ones. And, you know, basically, like, there is a... You can also watch this without a VR headset. Of course, I think the point is to watch it in VR. But if you don't have a VR headset... And it will have English subtitles, and that's coming out early 2019, which is basically now.
I am confused as to how this will work.
Well, you know,
I'm excited. I want to see it.
I think more than the Spice and Wolf anime VR itself, the larger point of the article would be: is this a direction anime could go? What will it be like to experience anime in this way, and how do we feel about it?
Yeah,
Is it
I don't know
weird
about...
that it scares me
It scares you?
a little bit.
Why?
It could
Because
be
we're
a lot.
getting too
I want to
immersed?
see it.
I don't know. Like at the moment, for some reason, I'm still skeptical about like being that immersed in the anime world. But like, I'm not saying I wouldn't do it. Like, I would
Yeah.
definitely try it.
I think it's a little weird
Not me.
for
Immerse
anime.
Me, baby. Put me in there.
I think it's weird for anime and like any kind of animation in general, because especially like drawn, like if it's CG animation, then okay, fine, you can put yourself in like a CG world. But like if you're drawing, how are you drawing a 360-degree view?
Mm.
I'm going to assume this is CG.
I would have to assume it's
Yeah.
CG.
But I have talked about before that I would love to see like movies in VR. Like, could you imagine watching a Star Wars movie and like you're in the Star Wars movie and you're like looking around and you can like turn around and look at, you know, the planets behind you or whatnot?
I think this whole thing's inevitable.
Yeah.
You know, we're at the point now where we're going to great lengths to sort of create even more enhanced visuals, and then we go to even greater lengths to market them as such. I think we all know that like some of these sort of newer resolutions on televisions are hardly noticeable. The differences,
Sure.
unless your TV's massive.
Yeah, tell me about it. I just spent way too much money on a giant 4K HDR TV, and I'm like, it looks the same.
Looks the same.
That
So-
was a waste of money.
So at a certain
That
point,
sucks.
companies are, you know, now it's a curved TV, and now it's 4K.
It is a curved TV,
and
by
then
the
it
way.
was 4K, and it's all this stuff, and it's like, okay, great, but you're going to get to a point where the human eye simply can't do anymore,
Right.
and you're going to say, well, how can we have it even more in like an even more immersive experience that brings you even closer to real life? And the simple answer is it's VR and AR. That's the answer. You know, and like this may not be 10 years from now, but in some point in the next 20 years, probably a lot of media, especially I think sports and concerts, where you're going to be sitting in your living room with a headset and you're going to literally pay a fee like a pay-per-view fee to watch, you know, a concert.
Watch an AKB48.
You're going to watch AKB48
from the front row
from Florida being done in Japan, and you're going to be like in the front row with your headset on. And you'll pay $60 to do that. Well, that's going to happen for sporting events. It's going to happen for all kinds of stuff. And it's going to happen for anime, too.
I think they've already experimented with something like that.
I think they
because you can. They're definitely like I have seen Facebook live streams in 360 for concerts already. So what's the only part missing is the headset part where like you're there, like full body wise. But like the thing is, like that all sounds really interesting to me. I just hope that humanity doesn't go the lolly way after you know experiencing all this.
Wait, the lolly way?
We'll have to see. You know, when we all become just addicted to being immersed and like lose control over the health of our bodies.
Yeah,
you know?
But why is it the lolly way? I'm confused.
No, the Wally.
Oh, Wally. Okay. I was like, whoa, where did we go?
I thought he said nothing to do with lollies. Nothing to do with lollies.
I thought he said lolly too.
Okay.
No, it's just me talking funny today. Sorry, friends.
No worries.
Well, it's an interesting discussion, maybe for a hentai episode, but I actually have, because you know it's going to go that direction.
I mean,
Pornhub is going to be the first person to invest money, dude.
So, like, I'm actually concerned about the mental health of people.
Yeah.
You know, because I think that, you know, sexual desensitizing is definitely something that's going to happen.
Yeah. More so than it has already.
When you're put into a scene where everything looks real and it's just everything is, you know, perfect and being very vague, real life just won't be good enough anymore. So I'm worried about certain things, certain aspects of this, including Spice and Wolf, because we all know Hodo is a big time waifu in the anime community. Like maybe one of the biggest. So
the most waifus.
You know, it only takes one small little bit of inspiration, and suddenly
it only takes one waifu, guys.
It's the Hodo, it's the Spice and Wolf sequel special, Hodo at the onsen. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah. Hodo, oh no.
Hodo, oh no, oh no,
oh no.
Hodo, no.
I love how Mitz is like so slow on the drops.
I know.
But he's so dedicated.
Oh my
God. Oh, that was the wrong one.
The oh no drop's not on the board.
There you go.
Oh, damn.
R.I.P.
All right, well.
We have oh shit, holy shit, and oh my god. But no oh no.
Damn.
Sorry.
That's too bad.
Damn.
We need a bigger soundboard.
We also have that
next.
Yeah, so that's really interesting. I'm really curious to see where that's going to go. But one last thing, are we hoping that's the direction it goes?
Man, the real world sucks.
If you could watch your
anime,
anime,
definitely sucks.
If you could watch your anime in VR, would you?
Yeah.
I would. Yeah.
If I could live my life in VR, I would.
Well,
they put out a VR Ghost in the Shell little short that I think you could view with like cell phone VR headsets. That would be awesome.
All right.
Imagine Ghost in the Shell in VR. That'd be cool.
And on that note, it's time for everybody to start loving CG.
Okay.
Well, we'll see how that goes, yeah.
皆さんおめでとうございます Join us in Enzo Senpai's Notice Me Corner!
Yo, what's up, guys? So, this is Enzo Senpai's Notice Me Corner, where you guys can write in and let all of us know some good things that are happening to you, some good things you've accomplished, and some things that you're working on that you hope will turn out pretty good. This one comes in from Grandpa Papa, and they say, I'm guessing he says, because Grandpa, he says, "Hi, Enzo Senpai. When you announced this section, I didn't imagine I would be submitting an email to it so soon. However, last Friday, November 30th, I was asked to be one of 2 named guardians for my grandson. My stepdaughter and her husband were making their will, and while I hope, for obvious reasons, that it never comes into effect, I cannot think of a higher expression of trust and respect than being considered a suitable person to raise your child. It is inspiring me to be a better person. Love to all, Grandpa Papa." That's very sweet. I know my father said something to me very, very similarly when he was asked to be in Hispanic families we call it padrino, like your guardian, your male replacement if if your father unfortunately disappears.
Yeah,
your padrino. Like he's been asked to be padrino to like 3 of my cousins, and each time he gets very emotional because to him it also means this, that there are 3 people on this earth that literally trust him with the life of their kids should anything happen to them. So I completely understand how this is affecting you, and I'm really happy you shared it with us, man. Congratulations, and I really hope it never comes to it.
It's actually a brilliant move.
Yeah.
Like if you have someone that hates you, make them like the person that's going to inherit your child if you die, because then they'll never kill you. That's how you know you're safe. Like if you have like an arch enemy in your life, just be like, you know what? If I die, you get my child, and they'll be like, oh shit.
What if they just kill your child too?
What?
How about that? They'll just kill your child.
Oh,
You're a monster.
You know what? I didn't think about that part. They could potentially also kill your child.
Congratulations, Grandpa.
Congratulations. That's really special.
Congratulations. That's very sweet.
Also, it's kind of dope that a grandfather is listening to our show. Like we have such a wide range of listeners.
That's so cool.
I'm not the oldest after all.
I hope your day's going good.
It's time for hot new anime releases.
The outline on YouTube does say good, the bad, and the moe, but trust me, there was not much news. I punted today. I was like, there's nothing.
All right.
So, but there are new releases, so I wanted to drop a couple here because this one's really interesting.
Nice.
There is a new anime coming out that I'm kind of curious to hear your reactions to. It is called How Many Kilograms Are the Dumbbells You Lift? It's a manga that's being made into an anime for the summer of this year. Hibiki Sakura is your average high school girl with a voracious appetite. Noticing her clothes tightening in lieu of her slowly expanding waistline, she decides to look into joining the nearby gym. There, she runs into a girl from her grade named Akemi Soryuin. Akemi, who has a muscle fetish, tries to get Hibiki to enroll in the gym despite its high ratio of macho men. Thankfully, a beautiful trainer, Makio, appears and unknowingly convinces her to enroll and start her quest to a great body.
Wait, but like,
it looks like a weightlifting show, but but it's gonna be ecchi as shit, guaranteed.
I mean, the word fetish thrown in there definitely makes me feel ecchi, but it could also be really like endearing.
I've actually read some of this manga.
Of course, of course,
it is definitely ecchi, but I don't know. I think it's a really cute, like cute girls doing cute things, like slice of life. Though I don't know. I've been really enjoying it.
And Enzo, it is the director. Yes. The director of this is Mitsue Yamazaki, who directed Tadaku Never Falls in Love, and it's also the character designer of Tadaku Never Falls in Love.
Wow,
Ai Kikuchi.
That's what?
Ai Kikuchi, who was the character designer, one of the character designers from Tadakun, is also designing these characters as well.
Yeah, which is cool because I think one of the strong points in Tadakun, aside from the overall like everything else, is I like the way the characters look a lot in that show. So good shit. Maybe I'm hoping we watch it for the podcast. Maybe we'll see.
Yeah, there's some like pretty ridiculously sexy photos just in the promo art for this. Mm-hmm. So I haven't read the manga, but maybe Mandy can corroborate. But prepare for. I thought of Keijo like immediately.
No, it's definitely not on Keijo's level.
Okay.
Definitely not on that level.
I mean, did you see that second photo that I posted?
Yes, I do see it. It's a very interesting conceptual key visual right there.
Yeah, it's like, oh dear lords in heaven. Okay, anyway. Second up, mystery manga Kyoko Suiri gets a TV anime. And I'm basically picking these based on how much sort of buzz they're getting on the internet. In/Spectre is, I guess, the subtitle of the anime's name. At the age of 11, Kodoko Iwanaga was abducted by yokai for 2 weeks and asked to become their, quote, god of wisdom, a mediator between the spirit and human worlds, to which the girl quickly agreed, but at the cost of her right eye and left leg. Now, 6 years later, whenever yokai wish for their problems to be solved, they make their way to Kodoko for a consultation. Meanwhile, Kuryo Sakuragawa, a 22-year-old university student, has just broken up with his girlfriend after he fled alone when the two encountered a kappa. Seeing this as her chance to become closer with him, Kodako immediately makes her move, hoping to get married to Kuryo one day. However, she quickly realizes that there is something more to him. With this knowledge, she asks for his help in solving the various issues presented by the supernatural. Directed by Keiji Goto of Assassination Classroom and done by Studio Brains Base. So,
This one sounds like it'll either be interesting or dumb.
Yeah, and Studio Brain Space, I feel like, has been pretty hit and miss.
Well, they definitely have. I mean,
yeah. So I don't know. I mean, I'm curious to see what happens, like what we get, but I'm not super stoked about it. We'll see what happens. I don't know.
Yeah,
it could be good.
It could be. All right, and that's it for hot new releases.
All right. So next up, we have our trivia. We're going to take a news break. Before we do that, we have the trivia on the website, which the answer for this week was Future Diary. Of course, right. You can always head to the website, AAAPodcast.com, scroll down. There's a weekly trivia there for you. The winner of the week is, this is a funny name, Big Toad Boy. That's interesting.
Nice.
Yeah.
And the winner of the month is, how do you pronounce this one? Dalriadan?
Dalriadan Despot.
Nice. Good pronunciation.
There it is.
And I have reached out to you because you have won a fantastic prize of an unknown subject matter. You have not selected your prize yet.
A brand new picture of a car.
Probably a picture of a car.
Nicely framed.
A brand new car air freshener.
There is a new theme on the website for trivia, and it is Ghibli foods. I have merely shown you a photo of food from Ghibli, and you must tell me what movie it is from.
Yes.
So you must, I presume everybody has watched the Ghibli movies. He says facetiously.
I hope so.
Perhaps on another Hobby Addicts, I will give you my top 10 Ghibli movies.
Which I am very interested to hear the answer to that.
That might be interesting. Okay, well, before we go on our news break, we also have an in-show weekly trivia question, which we'll answer after the break. It says here, when college student dials the wrong number while ordering some food at his dormitory, he accidentally gets connected to the goddess hotline. What anime is that? Let us know in the chat, and we will tell you as soon as we come back. Stick around.
Soon.
Hey, all you wild anime addicts out there. Mitsuki's here, and he's bringing you the anime news. And leading us off, we have a peek into Japan's manga sales for the week of January 7th. It looks like we have a top list here, and coming in at number 5 is Snow White with the Red Hair, Volume 20, followed by Gintama, Volume 76. Now, Gintama is actually going to be concluding soon, either in that volume or in a very soon-to-be-released volume of the manga. Yomushi Pedal at number 3 at volume 59. Black Clover screams its way into number 2 with its 19th volume release. Number 1, the very popular and timely Yakusoku no Neverland, or The Promised Neverland, volume 12, rounding us out at number 1. Next up, it looks like there is another Lupin the Third movie being released. The franchise Lupin the Third just continues to roll on with a television program announcing that the Lupin the Third franchise is going to get a new movie for the winter of 2019. So there's already a ton of Lupin the Third movies. Of course, Lupin based on the manga by the same title by Monkey Punch. I have no idea how many movies there are, but there are at least 20 of them. So if you're a fan of Lupin the Third, you're going to be able to watch another Lupin the Third movie coming out this next year. And next up in the news, well, 2018 recently wrapped up, and so we're getting lots of these top of 2018 so-and-so lists that are still being released. And it looks like the Anime General Election 2018 Grand Prize has been revealed. This, of course, is a collaboration by many different anime magazines, including New Type, Animedia, and others. And it looks like the top 5 anime in the anime election for 2018 were Cells at Work, Laid Back Camp, Place Further Than the Universe, SSSS, Gridman, and Zombieland Saga coming in at number 1 for the Anime General 2018 Awards. So if you're a fan of these like award shows and top award shows, it looks like Zombieland Saga continues to pretty much dominate Japan's thoughts and hearts for the last year. And rounding out the news, we got some happy stuff here. Akira Toriyama and Naoki Urasawa have been nominated for the Eisner Hall of Fame. Of course, we all know Akira Toriyama, the very famed writer of Dragon Ball, and Naoki Urasawa, who is known for Monster, 20th Century Boys, and others. They have been nominated for the Will Eisner Comic Awards Hall of Fame for this year. They are part of a selection of 16 nominees that will be voted on to be inducted into the Hall of Fame, which I would assume Akira Toriyama is a shoo-in, considering the popularity of Dragon Ball. But it's still really great to see two Japanese manga artists and creators that have been nominated for the Hall of Fame. This was Mitsugi, and this was your anime news break. And now, of course, getting back to the podcast right now.
After Parties Hobby Addicts Hentai Episodes. After Parties Hobby Addicts Hentai Episodes. After Parties Hobby Addicts Hentai
What
Episodes.
in the world are you two doing? I'm trying to sleep here. It's midnight.
We're using Mandy's arcane power to do a content prayer dance.
Yeah, we're hoping the content gods bless us with thrilling entertainment for the fans.
Content prayer dance. You know, there's a much easier way to make better content. How about starting with studying our vast archive of additional content on AAAPodcast.com?
Oh, I already have. I mean, it's only $7 a month for almost 8 additional episodes every month.
That's less than $1 per extra episode and super easy to get to. Just gotta type aapodcast.com/join to become a member.
You went through the whole archive? It's hundreds of hours.
Well, Senpai, anything is possible.
If you believe.
I think I'll just leave you two alone.
Hey, is he gone yet?
Yeah, ready.
Yeah. After Parties Hobby Addicts Hentai Episodes. After Parties Hobby Addicts Hentai Episodes.
Story time with Cram.
And yes, we are now presently in Cram's house.
That's right.
So,
we are in the murder room. Actually.
Yes,
Yeah.
this is the murder room.
would you like to tell? You have to tell the story now.
I've told it on the podcast before, but I guess it was back in 2006, December of 2006. Someone was murdered in this house. The people that were living here. The son was taking care of his mother, and she was very ill, as I understand it. And I guess he wanted to put her out of her misery, so he took a pillow and asphyxiated her.
Right here.
Right here.
Right where we're
Same
doing this.
tatami?
Right here. Yeah, same tatami. Well, no, they changed the tatami.
Oh, they changed the
So
tatami.
we are.
That's good.
So you need to tell me that we're actually broadcasting right now in the exact maybe square meter where a person was smothered to death.
Yeah.
Wow.
We're also underneath my bedroom, where a man died of an illness.
Wow.
The father.
Nobody will ever want to spend the night at Cram's house. Back to the podcast.
And we are back to the 456th episode of the Anime Addicts Anonymous podcast.
That's too many episodes.
It's insane how many episodes we've done.
It's a lot of episodes. Also, like, it's crazy because like 10-year anniversary to me hasn't like hit me yet.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Hasn't hit me yet.
And Mitz has been
But-
here for all 10 of those years. What a
I've been
complete
here for
psycho.
one.
No wonder he's all like messed up.
He's loopy as heck.
I can't. Yeah.
Anyway, before the break, we gave you guys a question to answer, and I want to repeat it and give you one last chance to guess it. The question was, when college student dials the wrong number while ordering for some food at his dormitory, he accidentally gets connected to the goddess hotline. The anime in which this pertains to is My Goddess.
Ah!
One of Mitsugi's favorite anime of all time. Oh no! All right, maybe not.
There it is.
Wait, we have the drop.
We got so many drops. Are you kidding? I have to scroll through and hunt for them on the list because there's like at least 300 of them.
Mitz, tell me which do you like the most?
Okay.
Because I know these are both very high on your list of all-time anime. Is it My Goddess or oh crap, shit! I totally forgot what I was thinking of.
Wow.
Love Hina.
Oh, boy.
If you had to, I know it's like choosing between
Oh my
like,
God,
your children.
Oh my Goddess is I think shorter.
Okay, it's shorter.
So
It's easier to bear.
So before we do anything,
yes.
I have brought a special present into the studio.
Oh no.
Now, as you know, Post Cereal, which we are not sponsored by.
Wait, like do you mean like after cereal or the company Post Cereal?
The company Post Cereal.
Oh, okay.
What?
Like post cereal, pre cereal.
Oh no!
I don't know. Guys, look, they're not all winners, but you miss 100% of the shots you don't take. So
You know what, Kazuo? You're voted off.
that's what I'm doing.
The tribe has spoken.
Okay, so Post Serial has decided to end humanity, and they have decided to put into motion the cogs that will drive the apocalypse.
Okay.
And in doing so, they have released a variety of cereals
Sure.
that will surely be the end of humanity as we know it.
Not sure what this has to do with
Okay.
anime, but okay.
I remember you posting about this now.
It doesn't need to have anything to do with humanity. It's fun for the listeners. So we have
Mandy, would you say that Mitsugi Post cereal?
Mm-hmm. Yep, he posts cereal all over Twitter.
So they have released Oreo cookie cereal, Nutter Butter cereal, Chips Ahoy cereal, Nilla wafers, Pop-Tart cereal.
Why do you know all this?
Because you must know these things. And of course, the greatest abomination of all, something that I never possibly thought conceivable since I was a child, something that I thought could never hurt us, something that we did back at the Camp Wakanda.
Camp Wakanda?
That's right. It's a safe marshmallow man.
Were you at camp with Black Panther?
It's from Ghostbusters. Post has released a Sour Patch Kids cereal. It is horrific beyond compare, and I would like to illustrate the horrificness of this by opening this box and presenting it unto Kazuo.
Oh, no.
In the very popely manner that I can.
Now, I will tell you that Sour Patch Kids is like my favorite candy of all time. So this might backfire on you. I might enjoy this. Although it's a little concerning because I feel like it's not, like, cereal is normally sweet. This is certainly not sweet.
The Pope shall present unto thee Sour Patch Kids cereal.
Oh, God.
I'm opening it right now.
Should I just...
And we can all see in front of the camera.
Sour Patch Kids falling.
Tons of
my
colorful colors.
What is
Of which I will tell you that the blue Sour Patch Kid is also thus like Moe an abomination.
Oh, God.
Do you want me to just, like, grab some of these and have at it?
Yeah, I want you to try this abomination of cereal.
All right. I'm going in.
Shove them all in your mouth at once.
I'm just going to grab
all
a
of them.
pinch of Sour
And I shall have you know
Add,
that
add milk, please.
I will have you know that this cereal is even more horrendous with milk.
Oh, my God.
Oh my God!
What is this?
How do you feel right now,
This is
sinner?
horrible. Why would anyone do this on purpose? Oh,
Guys, I lost my voice and I can't
gotta get it
laugh.
out.
Okay,
Get it out, dude. Get it out. Dude. Don't on the podcast.
Need to cleanse my palate.
and I shall have you know unto thee that after the second news break, you shall also be subject to the Chips Ahoy cereal, which I
doesn't
also
sound bad.
have for you for your sampling pleasure.
Oh, God. Thanks.
Amen.
Well, all right. You know what? Please get us out of here, Mandy.
And now, let's take a minute for the Manga Minute with Mandy.
Alrighty, Mandy's Manga Minute is where I take a minute to tell you about a manga and help you find something new to read. And this week was actually suggested to me by Cami, who is in our Discord, and she also is the host of the Annie Chatbox podcast. And this one is Go For It Nakamura. Nakamura is a shy boy who falls in love at first sight with one of his classmates, his dreamy high school classmate Hirose. But there's a problem. They haven't met yet. And Nakamura is a total klutz who might bungle things before they even begin. So Go For It Nakamura is a shonen ai comedy manga. There is only one volume available, and it's available in English for 7Seas Publishing. The manga is currently written and illustrated by Suyonde, who was originally an artist on Pixiv. The volume is a very cute slice of life about an extremely awkward and shy boy who has a massive crush on one of his schoolmates. Nakamura doesn't really feel like he fits in with everyone. He has a strange obsession with octopuses, but this doesn't stop him from trying to find ways to speak to his crush, Hirose, and try to grow closer. And something that was really refreshing for me in this manga is that Nakamura actually identifies as being gay, and I really appreciate how straightforward the manga is about his sexuality. But Suyonde mentions in the back of the manga that this was a collection of tiny manga strips that she originally made with no intention of putting them into an actual series. So the ending of the volume does leave off at a place where it feels unfinished. But I still think it's a really cute read. If you're interested in shonen ai series, then you should definitely give this one a shot. And Hopefully that didn't sound too horrendous because my voice is shot right now.
You have like a Demi Moore thing going on right now.
I
It's
know.
cool.
Ugh.
Wait,
Hopefully after
Demi Moore's
Hey,
cool.
that's not so bad.
I know.
Wait now.
Hopefully
Man.
when I'm done with this medication, I'll be all better. But we'll see.
Demi Moore,
We shall see.
quite an icon she is.
Thanks, Mitz.
Okay, so Yotaru Vegeta wanted us to do this topic called voting in the anime off the island.
Oh.
And I'm not really sure how we're going to approach this. I'm going to be honest.
We kind of listed a lot of stuff.
So I think what we're going to do is go through some of the most prolific anime studios, at least modern anime studios, and look at their recent catalog and determine whether or not they are worthy to stay on our island of anime.
All right, so we're just going to go through them one at a time, talk about them, and if they are voted off the island, then we will snuff out their torch.
Yes. Now this is going to get a little weird because, like, again, we're going with the most prolific anime studios. So these have put out a lot of these have put out some jams, but with those jams, also sometimes will come Sour Patch Kids cereal.
Now, let me ask the group a question. Most of these studios are going to have really good shows on their list,
Yes.
and some stinkers.
Correct.
Are a couple stinkers enough to snuff out the torch, even if there are as many or more hits?
Do you think by the end of this, no one will be on our island at all?
I haven't looked at all the studios you listed, but it's not impossible. But I think it will depend on how stinky the poopers are and how great the non-poopers are.
Right. Look, we're all willing to eat a little poop from time to time.
Yes,
Whoa.
I'll eat some poop.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. So, should we
like,
just
you
go
don't
down
like
the list and
dog
see
shit?
what studios remain?
Do it.
You don't like eating dog shit?
Really, Mitz?
I do not like eating dog shit.
That's an old drop.
I feel like we have other poop-related drops on there, but
I'm sure.
but
I've been on this
don't know
podcast for 5 years. There are many, many poop related
I don't know where
drops,
they
I'm
are.
sure.
I'll look for them.
Probably in the poop folder.
All right, so let's start off with I guess the first one on our list, as Mitz just searches through his tablet for poop drops.
on your face. I'm gonna shit on your face.
That is you, Mandy, saying that you are going to defecate
fuck.
upon the facial region of another person. Yeah, but I already ate this shit burger. Oh, God. There are a lot of shit
I
drops.
knew there
What
were.
episode was that from? Icy, what episode is that from? I'm gonna shit on your face.
Icy Rose, answer her.
All right, guys. While Icy tries to figure that out and while Mitz searches for more poop drops,
I hate you all.
we're going to start off with the first anime we have on our list here, which is Madhouse.
Madhouse.
Yes. So Madhouse, let's see, probably most well-known for, I mean, gosh.
Hajime no Ippo.
Well, I wouldn't say they're most well-known
And
for
Red
Hajime no
Line.
Ippo
And
or
Red
Red Line.
Line.
I would say probably Death Note, probably One Punch Man. So
Yeah.
No Game, No Life, that kind of stuff.
Okay, wait a second. So let me ask a question.
Yes.
How far back are we going here? Because
5 years.
5 years.
the Death Note is like
Right.
that's out.
I'm just saying what they're most well-known for. So I'm letting you know some of the good stuff they've done. I'm building their case. All right.
Yeah, but you can't use Death Note to build their case because that's too old.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair. I'm just saying they have done good things in the past.
Okay.
But let's look at their more recent.
So I want to strike that from the record.
All right.
Sustained? Okay.
Sustained.
Okay.
All
All
right.
right. Go ahead.
So what do we have for their more recent releases?
Well, right now they have Boogie Pop, the remake.
Yeah.
Right now,
Ah,
So is that one
Or
up
not
in the
remake.
air? Because that one may or may not be.
correct.
yeah, it's hard to say whether that's good or is going to end up being good. God, they put out.
Overlord, the third season.
Yeah,
Yeah,
true.
I have it. Yeah, I have the list out. So in most recent history that have been completed anime,
Mhm.
they have Overlord season 3. They have that's a manga. They
They did
novel.
Mr. Tonegawa.
Yes, Mr. Tonegawa. They have Cardcaptor Sakura, Clear Card.
Mhm.
They have A Place Further in the Universe and Overlord 2
And One Punch Man.
and One Punch
And
Man.
No Game, No
A
Life,
freaking
the
ton of
movie.
these.
Ore Monogatari as well, which was really good.
Aka.
so-
They have Aka, which is
They
an
also did
awesome
All
anime.
Out. The
Oh.
run-
Death Parade. I love Death
Yep.
Parade.
They have Diamond No Ace, which I love that baseball anime.
Mm.
They have a
They
lot
have-
of good stuff.
Yeah, they have Ore Monogatari, which is one of my
Your love
little
story.
favorite.
But, okay, so
shows.
they do have a lot of good stuff. But what are some of the trash that they've come out with? They came out with the.
Trash.
I mean, there's some trash in here. The Marvel Future Avengers.
Oh, that's kind of trash.
What the hell is that? That was nonsense.
I never
They
even
had
watched
the Magic Academy one, the Mahoka Koko no Retose. Forgot what it's called in English, but it's like a certain magical school. I don't know.
But you know what? Honestly, not a lot of bad stuff here. I feel like it's mostly really good.
Yeah. Oh, you know it's also within the last 5 years, technically, dude. Hajime no Ippo Rising.
I mean, listen, No Game No Life is trash.
It's popular though.
It's very popular.
I mean, yeah, but that doesn't make it not trash. I mean, I feel all I remember of No Game No Life was like some kitschy like games like they played like chess and a little sister who desperately wanted to have sex with her brother.
All right,
to the
question,
tune of multiple shower scenes.
Question to clarify going forward. We're talking from 2013 to 2018, right? Because we can't count 2019.
Correct. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So
Why do you have something that?
No.
So 2014 is No Game No Life and the specials.
So it falls in. So we can talk about No Game No Life. So I don't like No Game No Life. I just because story reasons. It's it was cool aesthetically, then it kind of lost itself. I would not say it's trash though.
You got to be kidding me.
I can't call it trash.
Come on.
It's well made.
I would argue that even if we consider No Game No Life to be trash, it's not enough to weigh against all of the good stuff that they've come out with.
Wait a second. I gotta stand my ground here a little.
Yeah,
okay.
Go ahead.
Just because something is well made, it has no bearing whatsoever on either positively or negatively of whether or not it's trash.
Yeah, you're right.
I mean, No Game No Life might have looked great, but at the end of the day, if I'm being force fed like incest content, I mean, come on.
Yeah.
I mean, there's literally a scene at the end of that anime that shocked me, even me, like in that shower scene that they had. I mean,
even you. Damn.
I mean, it's pretty. I mean, unless we've just accepted it.
Yeah. No, I definitely am not numb to that. No,
anime is definitely not a stranger to that kind of content.
Chibi Rob in the chat says it, I think, quite well. He says, well sculpted poop does not change the fact that it is poop.
But listen.
Damn.
But
Chibi just spraying wisdom out here.
Man.
Wow.
So I would fight for the fact that No Game No Life is trash. But there's an awful lot of good stuff here.
Yes.
Did anybody watch the anime, the Hana Yamada? I did not, so I was curious.
I did not either. I was actually just reading that synopsis to see if it triggered something in me, but I didn't watch that, nor did I watch The Prince of Stride.
Yeah, neither did I.
Which is
who
is
did
like
watch?
one, right?
I think Prince of Stride was a Kimiko anime, and
I don't think that ever got reviewed.
Yeah, I don't think so. But I seem to recall it wasn't that great.
They have a lot of good stuff, though. My vote would be that they stay.
Yeah, I mean,
me
dude,
too.
One Punch Man in and of itself is enough for me to say that they should stay.
Death Parade, Parasite.
Yep.
Yeah, they are doing well. You know what? I'm feeling Madhouse.
I'm okay with Madhouse. I've always liked Madhouse.
I'm okay with them staying.
Yeah, and A Place Further in the Universe. What? Like probably anime of the year. So
that was my anime of the year last year.
And guys, they're working on Chihaya Furu season 3.
Yes, which is a huge deal.
For sure.
Yeah.
And Ace of Diamond 2, which is going to be
which I love.
Which is going to be a big
Mitch,
success.
did you like that, a baseball anime?
I didn't watch it.
That was before my time on the podcast, but you would love that one, dude. I would watch that one with you.
I watched part of it.
There's a baseball anime you didn't watch?
I've seen many sports anime.
I know,
but
that's why I'm shocked.
I just it's tough to keep up with stuff that I'm not required to watch for the podcast when I'm always watching anime for the podcast. All right, let's move on. A1 Pictures.
Oh,
A1
okay.
Pictures. That's gonna be
sorry,
hard
that's not next.
also.
But we're on Bones now. Studio
Next
Bones?
would be Studio Bones.
Studio Bones.
Another contender for some good hitters here.
Yes.
Okay, let's hear it.
You got Mob Psycho 100.
Mob Psycho.
Yep.
Well, Mob Psycho immediately has to get mentioned because that took people by storm when it came out that year.
Oh
My
God,
Hero.
They have so
My
many shows.
Hero.
My Hero Academia, which although I would argue it's not, My Hero Academia is a very good show, but it's got a lot of issues.
But it's made such an impact in the in the community, though.
Oh yeah, hell yeah! It's massive. It's the biggest shonen anime
huge.
we've had in some time, since like Naruto. So give them that.
I mean, God, if you scroll through this list, the first 12 things are on My Hero.
Yeah, I will say, They did Kekai Sensen, which the first season of Kekai Sensen I did not really like. I felt the second season was a lot better, but still not great.
Yeah, same.
Yeah, I'm scrolling down to a couple of years ago, and they have Noragami.
Oh,
Yeah.
damn.
They have Space Dandy.
Snow White with the red hair.
I did not
They
like
do
Space
I
have-
really
Dandy.
enjoyed that one a lot.
Yeah. I like the Snow White anime. Also, I just saw one. That
I
was
think
worth
out of
mentioning
this
too.
list, the only one that I really didn't care for, Hisone.
Yeah, Hisone
Yeah.
Tomata.
But even
Masaton
then,
was,
that one was still,
it was okay.
I don't know. Yeah, it was okay.
I like the art style.
Yeah.
And they have
I will
Bungo
say I
Stray
did
Dogs.
not. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry, Enzo.
Yeah, they have Bungo Stray Dogs, which to me wasn't a high impact anime, but people did like it.
There are, a lot of people did really like it. I recall not really enjoying it all that much. I watched only the first season though, but I didn't really, if I remember, I didn't give it that good of a score on the podcast.
All right. So we
Kazuo.
mentioned some highlights here, but we got to mention.
Oh,
someone
Space Dandy.
Like,
Yeah, I
Space
didn't like Space Dandy either.
Oh.
Hey, Kazuo, how do you feel about a certain anime called Captain Earth?
Oh
Oh,
gosh,
shit.
Lord Almighty! Did they seriously do Captain Earth?
Yes, they did.
Yeah.
They also did Soul Eater Not, which I recall
I am filled with a great rage.
which I recall receiving a lot of shit from the community.
Yeah,
Captain
and
Earth.
Bones also did Aiko, which is the one Netflix one that I didn't really enjoy.
Concrete Revolution, we reviewed that, and I think gave it very bad scores.
Isn't that Concrete Revolution?
Sorry, Concrete Revolution.
Yeah. God, why do I remember that?
So there's at least 3 or 4 stinkers in here.
Dude, for the longest time, Captain Earth was the lowest rated anime on my anime list, and
Okay,
because
so
I think
this-
it was the first like really bad anime I had to watch for the podcast, and I was just like, why does this exist? And it just really shocked me. The only thing that I think scored lower than that for myself was Super Lovers.
Wow. Holy shit.
I haven't seen Aiko. Incarnation, I haven't seen that one
So I think this is going to be one of the studios where we have to already do how bad is the bad and how good is the good, because we have Captain Earth on one side, but we have My Hero on the other, which,
Correct. I definitely-
which impact wise is kind of extremely influential.
yet. For sure. I definitely
And
think they
Mob
should
Psycho as
stay.
well.
Yeah.
I'm on the fence, honestly, because
I'm very on the fence.
Yeah.
because it seems like if you look at their whole body of work, it doesn't really span a tremendous number of shows. And frankly, you all know how I feel about Kekai Sensen,
Yes, you
and
did not like that
I'm
show at
very on the fence. So if Kekai Sensen and Noragami cancel each other out, and something like My Hero gets canceled out with something like with the Concrete Revolutions and the Space Dandies of the world, then I'm sort of on the fence.
You know what? I've sorted the list of their shows by date order, and I
Yes.
do feel like their more recent shows have been much better.
Yeah,
Like-
I can see that progression as well.
Yeah. So this is gonna pain me because Captain Earth hurt my soul by how bad it was.
I mean,
But even regardless of that, I am gonna say that I vote for them to stay on the island.
before you do that,
But too late, I just did.
I just want to say something.
Okay.
If you sort their shows but chronologically, in the last 3 since 2016, there really isn't anything except Bungo Stray Dogs second season, My Hero Academia, Hisone to Masotan, and that's all they've done.
Can I give my vote next?
We already said we don't like Hisone to Masotan all that
Well,
much.
it was okay. It wasn't bad.
I mean, if we're gonna base it, so basically you're almost picking solely based off of My Hero.
My Hero,
Mob Psycho,
and
my guy.
Mob Psycho. Yep. I enjoyed the second season of Kekai Sensen. I actually did.
You did, I recall.
Yeah. So
Okay, they can stay, I guess. But Mob Psycho went prior to the timeline in which I stopped it at late 2016, because that was more early 2016. But
so Mitz, you are voting.
I'm on the fence, but I think that we're going to run into studios that have more egregious,
Catalogs.
catalogs. So I think they can stay.
Okay.
Yeah,
Enzo, maybe?
I'm gonna vote. They're gonna stay because I think the body of work to me is more positive, has more impact than other studios have ever had. just because of like literally just Mob Psycho and My Hero alone have impacted the community a shit ton, but also because Bones has Carol and Tuesday, which is my most anticipated anime release of 2019. It's coming in April.
I saw that.
It's Shinichiro Watanabe's new anime. It's about two girls living in Mars in a society that is very passive to culture and art, and these two girls want to make music. And I've read on the website that for the website for the anime, using Google Translate, just to say that, that it's the music industry is pretty seriously behind it. Like they're allowing the anime to use official recordings, official branding in the show and everything for the piano and the guitar and everything. So I'm excited. I'm looking forward to it. It's Watanabe doing something musical. He's let me down only once with that. So I'll give Bones the pass because future-wise it's looking pretty promising for me coming in April. And past-wise, I've adored some of the shows they put out.
My prediction is that the next studio will get voted off the island.
I vote
Spoilers.
for them to stay also because I love Mob Psycho a lot, and a lot of these shows are some of my favorites that I have seen like within the past like 5 years. I mean, Hisone was okay. I haven't seen Captain Earth, so that's where I am.
Shiver.
Oh God.
All right, the next studio is A1 Pictures. And
Yeah, I'm happy that we started out with those two studios because I have some beef with A1.
Yeah,
For
A1
sure.
Pictures. So if you go backwards from the present day on their good stuff that I think maybe we would say is good, Wotakoi, I didn't love that, but I feel like
Oh, I love that one.
some of you guys do, and the community and
I loved it.
like it. And then I keep going back.
Whew.
And I
It's,
keep
it's
going
tough.
back.
I know. I'm scrolling. I'm not. All
I
right.
keep going
I'm
back.
I'm gonna list
and I
out
hit
some-
erased all the way back in the beginning of 2016.
Yeah, and I think they did Your Lie in April, right?
I mean, even further back than that, perhaps. Yeah, way back and on the bubble of what is allowed.
Yeah.
So, oh my.
Yeah,
This
they've got.
studio's in some trouble.
Yeah, this one is so hit and so miss at the same time. On one hand,
they're miss and miss.
yeah, on one hand, they have Wotakoi, right, which is cool for me at least. For just a recent example, but they also have Ero Manga Sensei.
Oh God.
Oh.
So
Wait, are you?
yeah,
Ser-
oof, big
yeah,
oofs.
Exactly.
They are
Exactly.
currently doing Promise Neverland and the Kaguya-sama one.
I know,
Yeah.
but we're trying not to focus on stuff that is
Still airing.
Gotcha.
up in the air. So.
yeah.
A couple
Okay.
that are very popular, but that I don't like: Sword Art Online and Nanatsu no Taizai. I know they're very popular.
I also don't like Nanatsu no Taizai. I actually watched the entire first season of Seven Deadly Sins.
Mhm.
It is very standard template shonen.
Yeah.
Even more so, like, but not done as well as My Hero, for example. So for me, that's not a thing for to pass with.
Yeah.
One thing that one anime that could spark some controversy with us is that A1 Pictures is one of the studios that worked on Dolly and the Franxx as well.
Yeah.
That is true.
Did they
And-
work on the Persona 5 animation?
Yes, they did, along with Cloverworks, I believe.
I was not a fan of that one, but
Here's a list of shows that I think we all might agree aren't particularly good. Are we ready for this?
Okay.
I'm going back. I'm starting with I'm starting with Your Lie in April because that's the cutoff. I'm not saying that's a bad show.
That's a great show.
No, I'm not saying it's a bad show. I'm saying that's about as far back as we can go.
That show, I think I might have given a 5 to.
That's not one of the shows on the list here. Magical Girl Lyrical Nanoha Vivid, which I lived that nightmare and can tell you that show is really it's a shame. Gunslinger Stratos, I don't recall us liking that particularly a great deal. Gate,
Oh God.
some people like, but we did not. Let's see here, Ace Attorney, which was so horrendous.
yeah, that was pretty bad.
Let's see, the most recent, more recently, Aramanga Sensei, which I don't think too many people liked. Fate Apocrypha, which
Terrible.
was not good.
Tore
We
the
got some
fandom in
Idol
half on
Master
that one.
stuff. Grand Crest Senki, which we didn't pass. I can't really speak to how good or not it was.
Mitz, you missed out on one of the best ones.
Oh, which one?
Blend S.
Oh, Blend S.
This was cute.
I was gonna
Blend
say,
S
I
was
think
just-
Enzo
It was
loves
cute.
that one.
It was just
It
good
gave
for the
good
meme.
memes.
Yeah.
It gave good memes.
That was it. It was just memes.
They also worked on Working.
which I love. I love working. But was that in the 5 years?
Yeah, it was.
Mm-hmm.
It is? Oh, fuck. I love working, dude. Holy shit.
Asterix War.
I think they did interviews with Monster Girls too.
They did. That was cute.
That was cute, too.
It was cute, yeah. It was alright.
Man, this studio's so hard also, dude. Fuck.
But I feel like they don't have anything that... but they do have a couple, like Your Lie in April. But like they have very, very few that are like bombs. That are like... Or not bombs, that's a wrong word. But that are like really, really, really good. Like they have some that's...
I see what you mean.
You know, a lot of their stuff's like, okay. And then a lot of it's terrible.
I don't have to think too hard. This studio is off the island for me. They've got two times as many shows that we go oof, as opposed to shows that we think, oh wow, that was great.
Yeah. I'll go next real quick. Considering the first two we went through, which I think were really good 50-50s, if not 60-40s, this one's giving me a 45-55 feel, and I'm gonna go no on A1, which is crazy. Didn't expect it.
Yeah, I would agree with you. I'm voting them off the island as well.
Yeah, I'm looking through this list. I loved Wotakoi, but a lot of these other ones, I'm not a fan of. So I'm going to vote them off.
All right.
Wow, we voted off A1.
A1 Pictures. Here you go.
I'm going to shit on your face. Why? Why are you...
Travis spoke.
Yeah, I actually played the wrong drop there.
I hate it so much.
I played the wrong drop there, but it did.
It still applies.
Sort of fit. All right, so the next one on the list here is Wit Studio.
Oh, Wit Studio, known probably mostly for Attack on Titan.
Which we will have a much easier time talking about because their body work is far smaller.
Yeah, definitely. So they've done all 3 seasons of Attack on Titan. The first season I thought was fantastic. The second season I thought was meh. And the third season I thought was really good.
Same.
So they've done that. They also worked on Owari no
After
Seraph.
the Rain.
Oh, After the Rain.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Didn't they do Ancient Magus? Yeah, Ancient Magus.
Yeah.
Ancient Magus Bride. Kabaneri, the Iron Fortress, of course, which was really good.
Hozuki no Reitatsu.
Oh, that's your jam.
Mm-hmm.
The only anime here that almost all their shows are arguably fine. Like I feel like
Rolling
Yeah.
Girls.
Yeah.
Kabaneri
pretty okay.
Kabaneri was kind of shallow, but it was very entertaining.
It was very well animated
and looked gorgeous. Yeah. They're riding that Attack on Titan money.
Yeah.
Yeah, and even though the community, like, or at least me personally, like, didn't fully get engrossed with Ancient Magus Bride, it was well received for the most part.
I really enjoyed Ancient Magus Bride.
Yeah. Rolling Girls I did not especially enjoy, although it was very well animated, but it was not, in my opinion, very well written.
I think I watched that for an impression. I didn't pass it.
No?
Seraph of the End. The anime
that started so strong.
The anime was a mess.
It started so strong.
It started
though.
strong. Yeah, you're right. It did. I agree. It started really strong.
The ending of that second season was just wow.
Yeah. It just couldn't do what My Hero does with the template. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, and Rolling Girls I didn't watch, but I recall Chiaki in the back of the day not appreciating Rolling Girls a whole lot. So
yeah, it was. I don't know. It was kind of a mess.
Did you watch that?
Yeah, I did. I think we're all missing the biggest thing they've ever done,
which is
the Pokemon 21st movie.
Oh my goodness.
Pokemon movie 21, Mina no Monogatari.
I didn't see that one.
All right, so I think my opinion would be that Wit Studio can stay.
Yeah, me too.
I agree. Yeah, they haven't done a ton, but what they have done has been largely very good, and they've only got a couple. Yeah, and they've only got a couple stinkers in there.
Okay, the next studio is KyoAni.
Here we go. This is gonna be a good one.
Which also, in the last 5 years, has a fairly small body of work, so we don't have to worry about, digging through thousands of shows like A1 Pictures had. So they've got Free Eternal Summer,
yeah,
Amagi Brilliant Park, Sound Euphonium, Myriad Colors Phantom World, Sound Euphonium 2, Miss Kobayashi's Maid Dragon, Violet Evergarden, Free Drive into the Future, and Tsurune. And they have
in the movie world, they have A Silent Voice and they have Liz and the Bluebird.
Are we counting films? Because I haven't watched any. So
I've watched both of those and they're fucking fantastic.
Okay.
And the Silent Voice movie, which I haven't seen, but
I haven't seen it either, but I heard it's really, really good.
So I will say KyoAni is infamous for the Moe girl for sure.
Yes.
But I think KyoAni in general, all their work to me is really heartfelt and beautifully animated, and I do enjoy almost everything they put out.
Almost. Amagi Brilliant Park was.
I love that show.
I hate that show.
Strong dislike.
Violet Evergarden made such a huge impact on me alone that I'm like, I don't know, it far outweighs a lot of the mesh shows on this list.
Oh god.
I don't know, I loved a lot of these when I'm looking through it.
Musaigen no Phantom World.
Dragon.
Dude,
I love I didn't see that though.
I like Tamako Love Story and Tamako Market. Like I love those. And Free to me
is Free. I love Free.
I love Free.
It's so silly.
Free, not my thing, but very entertaining whenever it was on, and I just watched it.
This is really crazy. Like
what the stuff they've worked on.
I feel like if you look at their entire body of work back all the way back to 2003, I'm gonna make a controversial statement here.
Oh no!
I think I'm gonna say. I mean, if you just look at it, if you look at their first 10 years versus the last 4 or 5. I feel like KyoAni's best days are behind them. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this. Air, Canon, Clannad Afterstory, K-On, Haruhi Suzumiya. They have all these great shows. Full Metal Panic they have, one way back in the day. And what do they have lately? Free again.
Violet Evergarden.
I mean, so that's a movie. That's a movie which I'm not counting because I didn't go through the first 10 years of movies. So I just don't think that Free, which is, I mean, people love it, but it's a silly show. I just don't know that Violet Evergarden and what, that's it. That's exceptional outweighs that huge list of shows.
Yeah, I mean they've got I'm looking at their most recent past couple of years, and I'm seeing. Obviously, all the Free stuff, which I do love Free, even though I will admit that it's probably not critically a great anime. Miss Kobayashi's Maid Dragon, which started off not great, but you know what? Honestly, the way that show ended, I was in. I really enjoyed it. But even then, I wouldn't say it's a great anime. If you're talking to Mitz's argument, if you're talking about Air and Clannad and all that stuff from back in the day, I don't think these recent shows do measure up to that. But I don't think that means that these shows are necessarily bad. It's just perhaps they're not as great as we remember some of those classics being. I mean, Hibike Euphonium I didn't like, but I know people love it, and I understand that's just my personal bias that I just wasn't into it.
I liked Hibike Euphonium also.
Did people not also like Hyoka and Nichijou? Because those are really popular shows, and
those are before the time though. We're talking.
Yes, exactly. Years. My point being that KyoAni's best days are gone.
I'll meet you halfway there with that statement, and I'll say that they might be once again reaching a new ceiling because I'll give you that maybe they dipped, but based on Evergarden and based on Tsurune and based on the 2 movies they released.
I mean, look, on the Discord, I haven't seen Tsurune, but I haven't heard people shouting great things about Tsurune. I haven't seen it.
I'm loving it.
I'm waiting until I see it, but I'm just saying that if I look in the last few years, there's an awful lot of Free and Sound Euphonium, and there's also things that for example, I didn't particularly like, such as Myriad Colors Phantom Roll, which is basically an ecchi show. They've
done a shitload of Chunibyo, but I've never seen that. Is that any good?
I've actually watched all of Chunibyo. It is a very silly show, but I liked it more than I didn't like it.
The only 2 shows on here that are jumping out to me as not very good for me personally are Amagi Brilliant Park and Musaigen no Phantom World. Those are the only 2 that I'm I didn't really like those, but the rest I at least enjoyed somewhat.
I am not going to vote KyoAni off the island, but I still think that.
But they better watch themselves, is what you're saying.
I'm just saying, yeah, exactly. I'm if I don't know. To me, Free just doesn't move the needle. So, especially since we're talking about the 2nd and 3rd seasons of Free.
Yeah.
So
I feel you. I understand what you're saying, and I can also see that argument being made that maybe their better shows were, previous to 10 years ago, but I don't know. I still think they're doing well enough to warrant a spot on the island.
I think KyoAni gets a pass by a lot of people because their stuff looks great, but their content isn't particularly always some like deep abyss of like, you know, imagination. You know, like, you understand what I'm saying by that?
No,
Bro,
I feel you. I feel
dude,
you.
Boob limbo. What are you talking about? That's
like,
deep imagination right there.
I just
Was
think
that Brilliant Park? Which one was that?
No, that was Misaigen, no Phantom World.
Oh, okay.
people are
Boob
willing.
limbo, my
People
guy.
are willing to forgive almost anything just because it looks great. That's all I'm saying.
I will give KyoAni the pass because, like, you know, I am someone that's much more engaged with their form of slice of life storytelling, which they do a lot. I love their animation style, like especially when they go balls out with Violet Evergarden and also the movies they release. I said it last weekend that like if Beck was to be remade, I would love to see KyoAni style on them.
Oh, that would be cool.
Yeah, but I can definitely see how people that are averse to the stories they tell are I totally understand. I'm totally in. I love Hibiki Euphonium. I even like K-On! Enough to be like, yeah, that's one that worked for them.
I actually did. I like K-On! Too.
yeah. So like I can't vote them off. They do too many things that I enjoy that I can't tell them. I can't give them a no.
Yeah.
Yeah, same. I would keep them on the island as well because I loved Violet Evergarden, and I don't know. Like Enzo was saying, I love their slice of life storytelling. Their animation is always beautiful. It's always very expressive, and I would definitely keep them on the island.
You know what I'm noticing here is that we've all seen a shitload of anime.
Yeah, dude.
Oh,
the fact that we can go to any studio catalog and be like, all right, let's talk about these 10 anime.
I'm also finding a lot that I haven't seen though.
That's true. Yeah.
I realize that KyoAni will not hear me say this. I would like to see them once step out of their comfort zone. All they do is the same shit.
But it's good shit.
It's all pretty boys, pretty girls, soft like emotions. It's. I want to see you do something different.
You want to see them do like a dark, gritty anime?
Hey, go look at Madhouse. They got shit all over the board.
Yeah,
they got Redline. They got Parasite. They've done everything.
Yeah.
But what they do, though, I think they do really well.
I still want to see them step out.
They definitely have their niche. But I kind of feel the way you feel, Mitch, because that's why last week when I was like, if Beck's to be remade, like I want KyoAni to do this because I trust that they could step out of their zone and give me a compelling story that's not fully through, you know, expressive characters that are like happy.
Yeah.
All right, let's go on because I think this next one might be in trouble.
All right.
JC Staff.
JC Staff.
Huge catalog.
Old school fucking studio,
Huge catalog.
Some of their more famous shows, even though it's beyond, I mean, it's over 10 years old, but Toradora is probably their most popular show.
Oh my god, that anime is
But that doesn't
great.
count. It's 10 years old. It's past the limit.
So, of the ones that qualify, I think their biggest ones, good or not, are Shokugeki no Soma. Is It Wrong to Pick Up Girls in a Dungeon? Prison School.
Konosuba.
Yes. Keep it just for
Konosuba.
prison school.
Let's see. I'm going through the list here. Children of the Whales, we all know. I don't know if it's big or not.
Oh, I love that.
And One Punch Man 2 isn't out yet. That's about it. That's their big stuff. That's their
They
their
did High
massive.
Score Girl, which I
they
really
did High
enjoyed.
Score Girl.
Oh, yeah.
They
I
also
haven't
did
seen
Planet With, which I have not seen, but I've heard some say that's really good. I have not seen it though.
That's on our like list of best of 18 for the anime Oscars. Does anybody else see anything else here that looks especially great? I'm trying to kind of move us along in a more efficient manner because we got a lot of shows left.
Yeah, a lot of their good
That's
stuff
true.
is really old.
Or a lot of series
Yeah.
left.
That's kind of the feeling I'm getting. They hit it out of the park a long time ago.
Like
I also really enjoyed Flying Witch though, like a lot.
Me too. That's very much that slice of life show was super slow paced, but that's my kind of slow pace.
Magical and just so comfy.
Yeah,
I love that
super
show.
comfy show.
Let me throw out the shows here that I think weren't good
Okay.
based on my knowledge. Witchcraft Works. I had to suffer through that back when I was living in Japan. Selector Infected Wick Sauce.
What the hell is that?
Don't
That's
recall
that-
people
like
liking that.
Yes.
Yes. Now, I would Heavy Object. We all that was like literally a joke. We all laughed at that.
The anime about my penis.
Now, I don't know I haven't seen a Manchu, but looking at the picture, I'm like, really? So let's see here.
Yeah, I did not like Shokugeki no Soma, so much so that I failed the first
I
season.
did.
I know, a lot of people
love
do.
that show.
I love that fucking show. I can't help it. I'm sorry.
I haven't seen Twin Angel Break, but it looks like Moe. I don't know how you guys feel about Don Machi, but that show is boob ribbons.
Yeah.
Backstreet Girls was questionable at best.
Oh, boy.
Angels of Death. Angels of Death, which I watched a few episodes of. Horrendous. That was a show where the guy chases the girl around the warehouse with a sickle.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my
Oh,
God,
that show
dude.
was terrible.
Horrendous.
Played some of the game of that, but I did not watch the anime.
Oh, that was
some of them
bad.
Some shows that stand out to me that I really enjoyed was Bakuman, the show about the two
Not
manga
too old.
writers.
Too old.
Yeah, it's
Bakuman's
too
like,
old.
it's like 8 years old or something.
Yeah, way too old. Bakuman
Is it
season
actually?
Bakuman season 3 came out in
Dude,
2012.
I'm telling you, like JC Staff's era was like 2008
Oh my
to
God, you're
2011.
right.
Like that's when they had
was-
some really good stuff.
I was gonna mention Sakura So no Pet.
I'm
but
voting.
You're right.
I'm just
That was
gonna
22.
I'm cutting the
That was
chase for
that was
myself
2012.
in an effort of efficiency. They're off the island for me.
Yeah, I'm agreeing
Holy
with
shit.
you.
I'm happy to hear all of your guys' thoughts. I just want to get mine out there very quickly. And they're off the island for me.
I think I'm with you because as much as I love Rizzo and Flying Witch, a lot of these other ones, I mean, I love Food Wars, but that's about it. This whole list that I'm looking at, what they've come out with, I either haven't watched because I haven't heard great things about it, or I did watch and did not enjoy it. So
Yeah, you know what? I'm with you guys. I from the recent works, I've enjoyed High School Girl. I've enjoyed Konosuba
I did enjoy High School Girl as well.
and Prison School a shit ton, and Shokugeki no Soma for sure. But like we preface, there's a lot more that are just oof to me or completely did not engage me to even try. So I'm gonna have to vote them off the island as well.
Yeah, I'm with you. I agree. It's unanimous.
Although I do find Psyche K just hilarious.
Oh, it's super funny. Yeah.
yeah.
All right. The next studio is Production IG.
What do you think IG stands for?
Don't know.
Hmm.
But this studio has a smaller body of work, so we don't have to, work too hard here.
But they've got some jams.
They do
They got some
Haikyuu.
big jams.
Hell yeah, Instant Pass.
I don't know about that.
Instant.
There's a lot of crap here. They've got various Ghost in the Shell shows, which I mean, I haven't seen much Ghost in the Shell, so I'll defer to you guys. Joker Game, which people I
seem
recall
to remember
people
liking that.
Joker Game.
I think I don't remember much of
I
it.
don't recall how much.
Let me look at my anime list and see what I scored.
But they have Kuroko no Basket.
Not recently.
Okay, I gave Joker Game a 7 on my anime list, so that would have been
No,
like
they
a
have
3.5.
Are we going to count Kuroko no Basket because it ran from 2012 to 2015?
The second season
No,
is
it's too old.
2013.
Oh yeah, you're right.
So the second season would count.
Okay, the second season.
Mandy,
they have-
I haven't
okay,
seen
they
Kuroko
have
no Basket. I don't know.
I mean, I love Kuroko no Basket. It's
Yeah.
one of my favorite
They have
Dude,
shonen series. So
they have Haikyuu.
Haikyuu
have
is
Diamond No Ace. They have Ghost in the Shell Rise.
Mhm.
They,
Rise was good.
yeah, I thought Rise was pretty good too.
Psychopaths season 2 would have made the cutoff. And you
Yes.
know what though? A lot of
This is
people
gonna
don't
be
like
close.
season 2, but I do. I enjoyed season 2.
This is going to be close.
Yeah.
Um,
And they have the most recent thing that came out for
Oh.
Genshiken Kazuo. They have
Wait, say again. I'm sorry.
Genshiken Nidaime.
Oh,
That
yeah.
was 2013.
I mean, I know we're not counting stuff that's currently airing, but they're also doing Run with the Wind, which the first core
Right.
of that I really enjoyed.
Mm.
But they also did Fully Coolly Progressive. So
All right, so
You know what though? That's not their fault.
here's some of the ones that might be stinkers. Fully Coolly Progressive. We just mentioned that. I don't seem to recall anyone liking Welcome to the Ballroom.
No.
I watched all of it, and
It
it
was-
was straight meh.
Yeah, it was.
Mm.
I didn't watch all of it, but I watched a few episodes, and it was like, wanna be Yuri on Ice, but like not as well animated.
I've heard people enjoy the manga a lot more than that, but from I think what I've heard is that the dancing scenes did not live up to what they were expecting.
Not at all. Like they
Yeah.
were cheap, and what I mean by that, they were all close-ups of the faces while they were dancing, so they saved money on choreography, and then all the choreo was CG done not super good and used over and over again.
I think I watched 5 episodes and then dropped it. So I'll have to
I watched
defer
the
to
whole
you.
thing because I had nothing else to watch that season.
Mhm.
They also did Attack on Titan Junior High, which is very, like, say what you want about it. I watched quite a bit of that, and it was just silliness.
Ooh, they did Ao Haru Ride. I actually really like that.
Maria the
I love
Virgin
that.
Witch was Maria the Virgin Witch was something that I had to watch, and it had a lot of
When you say
questionable shit
had
in
to
it.
watch,
I had to, because I would never have watched it. So here's my I'm going to give my verdict just again quickly.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to vote Production IG off the island because their catalog is so meh. And like, I think if meh is enough to keep them on the island, then what are we doing? Because Haikyuu 4 years ago is not enough for me.
I can't vote them off. I
Same.
can't vote them off. I
I
can't
vote
because
them. I keep them.
I keep them because they gave me Haikyuu and
Kuroko no Basket.
and Kuroko.
Okay.
And,
all right. I just want to say,
you know what? Yeah.
these are two. Kuroko no Basket is like ages ago. Like it barely even made it. Like Kuroko no Basket wrapped up in 2015, and Haikyuu wrapped up in
2 years ago.
Dude,
Was the last season.
I mean,
Not even 2 years.
so one answer. But I can barely even count Kuroko no Basket because it's
Attack on Titan.
Yep, they worked on Attack on Titan as well.
Oh, and they did the remake for Space Battleship.
For Space
Yamato,
Battles.
which-
No, not Space Battle. Yeah, they did. But they also did the remake of oh my god,
Legend of Galactic
Legend of
Heroes.
Galactic Heroes. Thank you. Which
All right.
I thought was really good. I enjoyed it a lot.
Yeah.
Everyone has their own vote. I did. All right.
So
Was that 2? That was 2 for yes and 1 for no. I don't think. we
No,
did
I'm sorry.
yours, though.
I'll take my. Fuck! I can't believe I'm doing this. I'm looking
You
through the
traitor.
catalog again, and yes, they have a lot of anime that really fucking did me a good one. But god damn, it's all stuck between shit that is so meh. You're right.
They haven't done anything.
You're right, dude.
I'm gonna say
They're off
that
the island for me.
they have some shows on here that I absolutely love. And yes, they do have several shows that are meh. But I would argue that they don't really have many shows that are just straight bad. So I would say that balance, that it's like teetering right there on the edge. But I'm going to tip it over a little bit and say I vote for them to stay on the island.
You're so soft. All right.
It's right there.
Oh, good lord. All right, next.
Mandy?
I can't believe I took
Hey,
back my yes.
hey.
but I had
Did Mandy say her piece?
Mandy said keep
Yeah, I
them.
did.
Okay.
Mandy,
How
So
old
we-
was Psycho Pass?
The second season, I think, was 2014, I want to say.
Yeah.
Let me see.
Well, that would count.
I don't even see
would.
Psychopaths
It would.
on here.
It's on there.
Let's see.
where?
Second season would have been...
2012 to 2013.
Is that the second season?
Yeah, I don't see the second season on here for them.
I saw it before. I promise.
Yeah, where'd it go? There's the movie.
I do not
There
I
see
we
mean,
go.
that's a lot of good stuff. I would keep them.
2014 was the
Psychopath
second
season 2, 2014, October 10th.
All right, so let's move on. We got so many more.
So this one is a split then.
All right, so
Yeah.
we'll keep 'em. We'll just keep
Didn't
'em
expect it.
Only
Sorry.
half of them can stay. We got to cut them in half.
Shaft, Studio Shaft.
Oh, Shaft. Jesus
They
Christ,
haven't
okay.
done much of anything, so let me just run through it real quick here. They did Fate Extra Last Encore this last year. March Comes In Like a Lion. Nisekoi.
Pretty damn good, though.
Gourmet Girl Graffiti. Monogatari Season 3. Meikaku City Actors. And Nisekoi again. Back in 2014, and that's it.
Dude, I have not seen hardly any of these shows.
Me neither.
I actually
I've
put
seen
them on
none
this
of them.
list myself because I loved Owari Monogatari season 2 and Sangatsu no Lion. That's like the most other reason that I put them on here. Everything that they brought out that I have loved, except I have not heard good things about Firework, which is the movie
Same.
that they've released recently. I haven't heard anyone say anything good about that one, but I can't say for myself because I haven't seen it.
Yeah, I love the Monogatari series. I love March Comes In Like a Lion with a
Same.
lot of passion. I did not enjoy Fate Extra Last Encore, like not even a little bit. I think, if I'm thinking about the right thing, and I did not like Mankaku City Actors, which was a waste of potential because that had a cool thing going for it, and it kind of turned out crap.
Which one was that?
It's the one. It's like this guy has this portable device, and in it is like a virtual girl that sometimes it comes out of the screen, and like there are other people that have this shit going on too. And I don't know.
So I'm
It's so long
gonna
ago.
do something controversial here because I have not seen hardly any of their shows. So I'm going to refrain from
I'm gonna-
voting.
I'm going to vote them off, and I'll tell you why. they're barely even active, and I would say that maybe there's room on the island for people who care more.
But dude, Sangatsu.
Dude, they've done 2 shows in 3 years.
But Sangatsu though. Oh, fuck.
Same. I have to
hard,
keep
dude.
them because Chapter is one of my favorites. I have
This
to.
is so hard.
The Monogatari series is one of my favorite series, and March Comes in Like a Lion is
All right.
so good.
I'll do this. Their body of work is not the largest, so I think their heavy hitters are hitting a little harder for me here.
Same.
Sangatsu is life changing and also relates to Honey and Clover, which is one of my favorite anime of all time. And I cannot not think about the bold direction of the Monogatari series. So I'm going to pass them because they dare to do different things and tackle strong topics.
All right, so we'll keep them.
Me too.
God damn it.
Keep them, but I don't. But we'll keep them, but I don't want them. All right. So
Damn.
So this next studio is in some shit.
Mm,
Toei Animation.
Toei Animation.
Let me just. We're definitely basically out of time here, so let me just run through these real quick
Yeah.
here. So we have Precure, Pretty Cure, Dragon Ball Kai Final Chapters, Aborenbo Kishi, which was a sumo wrestling anime that no one liked, Marvel Disc Wars: The Adventures, which I didn't watch, Majin Bone, which I did not watch, World Trigger, which I recall being very bad,
I hated that shit.
Robot Girls
me bad.
Z, which I haven't watched, but I don't know, Dragon Ball Super, which I mean I've seen all of it and it looks horrendous. And by the way, so does the movie that just came out. Pretty Cure again, more Pretty Cure, Tiger Mask W, which was a wrestling show that
that was not very good.
Some
I saw a lot of
Digimon
it.
shows,
Hey, they did the Digimon Adventure Try stuff.
more Pretty
Oh, I
Cure.
loved Kyoso Giga. I loved that one.
Kyoso
Oh,
Giga is
man.
before the cutoff,
Oh,
Guys,
is it?
I
Oh, it's
think
13. My bad.
I think
and that's Gegege no Kitaro. They're off the island for me. They're done.
I cannot believe I'm saying the Toei animation is off the island for me too. I didn't even have to think about it.
Yeah, it's not even it's all like mostly shonen stuff from
Dude,
the
take out
90s
Dragon Ball from their catalog and what is it?
well, they have the greatest anime of all time, Air
Yes.
Gear.
Oh, of course.
But unfortunately, that was 12 years ago, so it doesn't make the cutoff.
All right, is everybody out on Toei?
Yeah, I think the only one that I've been watching is Kitsuro, which I have been enjoying. Outside of that, not really.
All right, all right. Here we go.
The tribe has spoken.
Let's see if we can get through a couple more of these. So,
Rip Toei.
Studio Mappa,
Ah,
very up and coming studio. Almost their entire existence is within the cutoff. Shows I think we'll all
Oh,
agree were
dude.
pretty good. Zombieland
This is gonna be
Saga.
Mm.
So I'll just read them off here. Rage of Bahamut Genesis,
yes.
Punchline, Ushio Totoro, a couple of those. Days, which I don't even remember what that is. Yuri on Ice.
It's a great soccer anime.
Idle Incidents, Rage of Bahamut sequel, Kakegurui, Altair, A Record of Battles. I didn't watch that. Morgaro,
Yep.
Inuyashiki, Banana Fish, Zombieland Saga. That's
Dude.
their catalog.
Oh, but you know what? They also did Terror in Resonance.
Yuri on Ice.
Yeah, Yuri on
Yes.
Ice.
Yeah, I'm dude. Most of these shows I love.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Did
I
you
do-
say Inuyashiki?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yep.
It depends.
I
Okay.
like Mappa. I think they've done really great things lately, and I think they're one of the best studios we have
Yeah.
right now.
They did Terror in Resonance,
Yeah.
which I absolutely did not like, but I don't believe that was their fault. I think that was more of Shinichiro Watanabe's fault.
Yeah, I'm with you there too. They also did the anime reviewing today, Banana Fish too.
And I loved Kakagurui, so okay.
I like them.
Yeah,
I like them.
Yeah.
I
I
like
what
them
they
too. You're right.
All right, next anime is PA Works. Very small catalog here. I'll just read them off. Glass Lip, Shirobako, Charlotte, Haruchika, Kuro Mukuro, Sakura Quest, Eccentric Family 2, Pretty Derby, Sirius the Jaeger, and Ito Doku, The World in Colors.
Oh boy.
That's it.
Interesting.
That's
So-
the whole catalog.
Oh,
Shirobako is a standout for me.
Standout,
I absolutely
for sure.
love that show.
Charlotte was really bad.
Charlotte was terrible.
I loved how cute Sakura Quest was.
Yeah, it was
but
alright.
it's not a hitter. It's not like a grand slam of an anime.
They worked on the Eccentric Family.
Oh, which
I can't
one?
remember when the first season came out, but the second season just came out like last year. Oh no, 2017. Sorry, and I love that series. So I don't know.
What I'll say for PA Works is that they animate well, They choose interesting stories. They don't do slice of life too bad, but in all the titles we listed, aside from Shirobako, none of them are like, holy fuck, yeah, they did that.
Yeah, I mean, they did Sirius the Jaeger,
True.
which we just reviewed.
Which was okay.
It was all right.
I'm going to vote them off the island for the same reason I would have voted off Production IG. Their catalog to me just doesn't stand out real well.
Yeah, I'm going to vote them off too. Wow, I did not expect that.
Love Eccentric Family, and I loved Shirobako, but I definitely see what you're saying. Yeah, there's not a lot where if I go, hey, PA Works did this, so I'm probably going to like this.
Yeah.
So
I do want to say...
I think I'm with you.
Yeah, I do want to say...
Sakura Quest, though.
Sakura Quest, it was all right. It wasn't great.
I love Sakura Quest.
Really? It was... I don't know. It was kind of like... It wasn't bad. It just didn't really stand out for me. But I will say, anyone listening to this podcast, if you are an anime fan, which of course you are because you're listening to a bunch of nerds talk about anime, you must watch Shirobako. That is a show that you must watch. It's a show entirely about the anime industry, about how anime is made, and it is a lot of fun, and it's really well done.
Yeah.
All right,
And
so-
just really quick, I also want to throw, because someone in the chat is mentioning it, Iruzuku is an anime that's airing or finished airing.
Yeah.
It's an anime I did an impression on for the podcast. If it wasn't for the fact that season was fucking packed with good shit, I would have passed it. So you should check that out too for one of the more
I thought
recent.
you did pass this.
Did I?
I'm pretty sure you did.
Oh my god, did I? I hope I did.
All right,
Did
so
past Enzo do me good?
All right, so we're failing. We're voting them off the island, correct?
Yes.
They do have some great stuff, though.
All right, so we don't have time for these last three, but I think based on their catalogs, they would all be safe. White Fox has done great things like Steins Gate Zero. They're on the bubble a little bit, but I think a lot of people like ReZero. There's some stuff there.
I don't like any of these.
No, I would pass White Fox.
Ute Wataru Mono, that
was rough, but that was a long time ago. TMS Entertainment has Megalobox, Bloompa Loop on the Third Part 5, Yoa Pedal.
Oh, yeah.
Studio Trigger has Gridman, Little Witch Academia, Kisniver. Studio Trigger, I mean...
I would vote them off.
Trigger
triggers me.
But we don't have time for all those. All right, so was that fun?
That was a lot of fun.
Yeah,
that was
fun.
actually really fun.
That was a good topic.
That tested my anime knowledge hard. I wasn't expecting that.
I was a little worried, like when we were prepping for the show. I'm like, oh man, do I even know enough? And I'm like, oh, I guess I do. So shout out to Yotaru Vegeta for sending in the topic suggestion. Of course, you can do so as well on our website, AAAPodcast.com, in the mailbag section. We are going to take another news break. Before we do, of course, we have another in-show weekly trivia question. Mando.
I got this. Alrighty, so our in-show weekly trivia question we will answer after the break. It is a guess at anime. It is, which of the following is not a .hack/anime? Quantum, spectrum, liminality, roots, or sign? And we'll answer it after the break.
Hey, all you addiction-crazed anime fans out there, Mitsuki's still here, and he's still bringing you hot piping anime news. Leading us off, well, Netflix apparently has caught on to the fact that they are indeed very popular throughout the world, and they are announcing that they are raising the prices of their subscription plans in the United States and in 40 different Latin American countries. They're going to be raising their prices to $16, $13, and $9 based on various different levels of subscription plans. So if you are a current subscriber of Netflix, be prepared to spend a couple extra dollars per month to have its services, of which, since it seems to be a substitute for cable these days, I have no doubt that most of the people will pay without even thinking about. But just so you should know, Netflix is raising its prices. Next up, we have some anime news. It looks like it was announced in Kadokawa's monthly new type magazine that the upcoming anime adaptation of the Fruits Basket manga is going to be premiering in Japan in April. So the new anime will have an entirely new cast and staff as per the original creator's request. And the new anime will cover the entire manga's story. So if you're a fan of Fruits Basket, we announced this a few months ago on the podcast, but now we know a little bit more in detail when it's going to be coming out. So look for it to air on Japan's TV Tokyo, and Funimation will also be streaming it on Funimation Now starting in April. In some other business-related news, it looks like MyAnimeList, the world's largest anime and manga database, has been purchased. Looks like on Tuesday, ebook and digital manga distributor Media Do Holdings announced that it is going to be acquiring all of MyAnimeList LLC from its current owner, Day&A. So it looks like this purchase is the latest sign, perhaps, that Japan's publishing industry is increasingly showing interest in English language publishers and maybe anime being released in the West. But for now, it looks like this is not the first time that MyAnimeList has exchanged ownership. But just so you know, it looks like MyAnimeList will be coming under new ownership. So if there are any changes on the website, that may be due to that change. And of course, rounding out the news, we have a new anime coming out. It looks like the second season of Yoiko's Dropkick of My Devil, or Joshin-chan Dropkick, has been announced. It is greenlit, and it's going to be coming out. So the original comedy manga centers on Yurine Hanazono, a college student who summons Joshin-chan, a demon from the underworld. Now they must live together in a rundown apartment in Tokyo's Jinbocho district. If Yurine dies, Joshin-chan gets to go back to the underworld, so she's constantly plotting to kill Yurine. So there's a second season of this comedy manga in anime form coming out pretty soon next year. So if you're a fan of that, look out for that to be coming out in 2019. This is Mitsugi, and this was your anime news break. Now, as always, it's time to get back to the podcast.
Okay, the stars are aligned and I have all the required materials ready. The night is perfect. All I have to do is light this black candle and...
Wait, what the?
Enzo, what are you doing here?
I was looking at this anime retail site before I just ended up here. What are you doing?
I'm trying to summon an elder god in the hopes that he will grant me more hot anime boy figurines. But I have just summoned you by accident. Ugh, that means my entire ritual was a complete failure. I have to start all over.
Why would you summon an elder god for something like that?
I don't live in Japan, Enzo.
There's an easier, safer, and more sane way to go about this. Look at this website.
JList.com?
Yeah, JList.com sells all kinds of figures, games, manga, snacks, and other merchandise. They'll even ship it straight from Japan to your doorstep.
That does seem like a bit safer.
Now, can you please promise me you won't try to summon any more elder gods? My butt hurts from that fall.
I can't make any promises. We have to pay the bills around here somehow. JList.com, selling figurines to save you from possible demonic influence.
We are back to the 456th episode of the Anime Addicts Anonymous podcast.
Hello.
Heidi ho, everyone. Before we went on our news break, we had an in-show weekly trivia question. Enzo, my main man, do you want to help us out with that?
Yeah, totally. Dude, this song's a banger, first of all. Second of all, it's so nice. The question we asked you guys before the break was, which of the following is not a dot hack anime? The options were Quantum, Spectrum, Finality, Roots, or Sign. The answer is dot hack Spectrum. That's not a real thing.
It is not.
That is true. However, Quantum, Liminality, Roots, and Sign are all real dot hack shows.
Yes,
you know, guys,
they are.
before we move on here, I do want to just draw everyone's attention to our good friend Mitsugi. And I want to express to you how much Mitsugi cares about you, the listener.
Oh my God. What is about to happen?
Right now, in this very moment, or at least very soon,
Set the scene. Set the scene.
Mitsugi's the love of Mitsugi's life, the one person that Mitsugi would give it all up for, Tom Brady,
That's right.
is playing a pivotal playoff game,
They just started.
and Mitsugi is here with you.
Wow.
I have such
Guys.
anxiety. It's crushing.
Guys, clap it up because you guys don't understand how much this changes me.
Give it up for Mitz.
I just want to say that
Golf claps.
to people who most people probably do not care, but It is truly a privilege to be a Patriots fan because they are so good. Wait a second. They are so good that we are blessed to be in the Final Four 8 straight times.
Wow.
It's almost unprecedented in any sport in history.
Yeah.
But the anxiety that comes from me year after year is such that like I feel like I shorten my life every single year. The anxiety is so crushing. Like I literally feel like I have heart palpitations right now because kickoff just started.
Well,
please, if I die, just know that I love all of you.
yes, and we appreciate you for being here with us. And on that note, speaking of appreciating people, we've got a 5-star review.
Hit it.
As soon as he finds the drop.
Come on. I'll say it again. Hit it.
It's time
And
for
so-
iTunes review.
This 5-star review is brought to you by
Mrs.
M.
M.
Diaz.
Diaz.
Writes, best anime podcast. This podcast is great. Everyone that likes anime should listen to it. They are very informative, and the hosts are pleasant to listen to. Please make the podcast longer. Oh, my God.
no.
It's already so long. I'm using my girlfriend's phone to write my second review. I wrote mine in 2015. Oh, my.
2015. Oh man.
A double
Before my time.
A double writer of reviews. Wow.
So this
Wow.
this was not actually Mrs. M. Diaz that left this review. It was Mr. Diaz.
M. Diaz.
Or well, I don't know if his first name starts with an M, but you know.
No, obviously that's the only reason you marry someone, right? If it's
All right.
first
Same name.
All right, guys. It's time for... Oh, thank you for submitting your 5-star review, by
Yes,
the way.
if you would like to leave a 5-star review, please head on over to iTunes and do so and help us maintain our grip around the throat of anime podcasting.
Okay. It's time for... Banana.
Hey, you did it
Banana
right.
Well,
Well, then you went,
didn't
okay.
finish
nope,
it right, though.
Nope, well, okay.
Nope.
All right. Banana Fish is a...
Whose show is this?
It's
Mine.
It's
Oh,
Enzo.
Enzo. Then would you like to take the lead, my friend?
Yeah, totally. Yeah, so Banana Fish is a show that I passed back in episode 432. I passed it mostly because of the aesthetics, but some background information is that it is by Studio Mappa. It is directed by Hiroko Utsumi, which did Free and Chunibyo, both the Q&A shows you mentioned earlier today on the podcast. And the synopsis on Mal is not the best synopsis. I actually don't like it at all. Basically, it is about street gangs in New York. The male lead in the show is Ash Lynx. And so we follow him and the situation and his circumstances that he's in as we watch the show. There are several separate main characters, too, that come into play that affect him and the people around him. And there's several things to track. It's a really cool syndicate, drug trafficking, sex trafficking type crime show. And that's really what it's about. It's just crime, revenge plot, all that stuff. So, expectations prior to watching this show. Who would like to go first? I can start if you guys want me to.
Go ahead. Sure,
Yeah.
show.
Sure. Yeah. So going into it, I knew some background knowledge on it because people had told me that it's a manga that was very controversial but critically acclaimed from like the 80s in Japan. And the reason for that was because it is a mostly male. It's a male romance that does spur in throughout the story. It's like a part of the story, but not like the huge major focus of it. So that was something that made it a little controversial and highlighted back in the day. That sparks my interest because we don't get many, like well-regarded, stories like that have that,
Yeah, especially not from the 80s.
element to them. Yeah, especially
Yeah.
not from the 80s. And then, so watching the trailer, I really fell in love with the aesthetic. Mappa did a really good job animating it and choosing the look and feel they wanted to give the trailer. So I expected it to maintain that level of aesthetics and give me a good story because crime drama is very enticing.
I'll go next. I didn't know much about this show going in because I didn't watch the beginning of it when we did the impression. I had, other than the silly little song we sang, I had heard people talk about that there was maybe some boys' love in it, is exactly what I think I heard. And I knew it was about gangs, I think. And that's about it. I think I watched maybe 10 minutes of it back just with people on the Discord. And that's about all. So I didn't know much at all, really.
So yeah, I watched this. I watched the first 3 episodes at the same time Enzo did before he did his impression. And all I knew going in was that it was a very old manga from the 80s. And
I mean, it's not very old, guys. Come on.
well, I mean, yeah,
Wait, isn't it 30?
Relax.
It's 33 years old, isn't it?
That's not very
that's still
old. Come
pretty
on.
old.
33 years? That's how old I am.
I know. I'm trying to help you out, man.
This came out
Wow,
the
I mean-
year I was born.
Wow.
Mandy and I are
was-
Mandy and I are in league together.
Yeah, we're the old, we're the mama and the papa of the podcast.
That's right.
But so yeah, all I knew going into it was that it was one of the first like manga that explored BL was in shoujo magazines, and that it covered some darker themes, and that's all I knew going into it. And I was very interested in watching it, and from the first 3 episodes, I loved the action, and I was excited to carry on.
Yeah. I didn't really know anything about it outside of like the synopsis, and yeah, that's pretty much it. So I as far as like BL shows, I don't really feel strongly one way or the other about those. You know, it's I don't know. It's the same as any other type of romance in an anime, I feel like, so it doesn't really matter. So I will say though that I personally am generally not a fan of like mafia type shows. Like I don't know why, but I've
didn't know that
never
about you. Yeah.
Huh?
I didn't know that about you.
Yeah, like it's
Yeah.
like mafia and westerns. Like I could never get into them.
Well, you never have to worry about getting a Western anime
Yeah,
because
you don't know.
I mean, has there ever really been one?
But I wish I could pin down exactly what it is that makes me disinterested in them, but I just generally don't find them interesting. And so I knew going into this it would be an uphill battle for me. But yeah, so that was kind of like my expectation going in was like, oh, I hope this interests me and I don't get bored by it.
Can I just say one more thing before we go to the next section? And that is,
Yeah, dude.
when I saw this was Noi Tamina, because I didn't know much about this. I was really shocked by the length of it. Because
Yeah,
if
I'll
I'm
give
not
you that.
mistaken, Noi Tamina's shows are almost always 11 episodes.
Yeah, I
see
think usually only 10 or 11.
So to see, I think they're like literally always 11. So to see 2 12-episode seasons, I was like, really? Like, is this really Noi Tamina? But hey, it comes up at the beginning of every episode, so I guess it is.
Not lying to you.
And the animation is really good.
Oh, it's blistering.
Yeah.
And the themes do fit Noi Tamina. So, okay, so given all of that, we all went through the show. We watched it. I want to know if you guys would recommend this to someone, and please do so in a spoiler-free manner. I can go first. I think if you like crime drama, if you like following stories that revolve around like people that are in charge of different gangs and how they influence each other, and how they work together, how they betray each other, all that kind of stuff, I think it's a pretty good story. There are some plot holes. It's not perfect, but I had a good time following the different power levels of each syndicate boss. I like, assassins, I like that stuff. And in terms of romance, I thought it was like a really natural, organic romance where there was almost never a straight up like confession per se, but it was shown and not said. So I think and I liked that a lot. So I would recommend this to a friend.
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, go ahead. I'll go last.
Oh, okay. I really think it's hard for me to recommend this anime to anime fans, and I'll tell you why. So first off, I think that this anime is intended for a specific audience. I know it's a shoujo. It's classified as shoujo. I know it's on Noi Tamina, and I know that Noi Tamina typically caters to women. A lot of their shows are in that sort of, if you look it up,
Shoujo category.
we talked about this years ago. If you look up Noi Tamina's catalog, which by the way is really strong, and you look through their shows, a lot of their stuff is shoujo. Now, that kind of limits the scope of people that would be interested. Also, it's not your typical anime cup of tea. So the same reason why people don't like shows, like they don't like a lot of the Madhouse shows because they're science-y or they're based in reality or they're about mobs or whatever. This show is not like your typical anime show. Like, it's very much mafia, and it doesn't have your pretty girl characters. It doesn't have your magic. It doesn't have.
It's a crime drama.
There's no moe.
It's very like I think the audience is very little. Like it's very
There's
small.
no moe. You should have loved it.
And I think that like for me to recommend it to someone, it would have to be a really specific person. And so generally, like my normal person who says I like anime, like this would not pop into my head. No. So not really.
Okay. So yeah, that it is a tough one because like kind of as you were saying, Mitz, to recommend to a broad audience might be tricky because I do also feel that not everyone's gonna love this. I think overall it would, and this is again me trying to like take my bias out of it because I just don't like mafia type stories, and that was kind of boring to me. But overall, I think the show was very well animated. I think the characters were interesting, although I do feel like they were caricatures of themselves in some ways. There were some things that were just way over the top that I felt kind of pulled me out of it. But overall, if a crime drama mafia show is something that you feel is interesting to you, or if it's something that you enjoy, I think this probably does that very well. But if that's not something you're into, then it may not be for you. I also want to say that I don't like, and I don't know, maybe this is just me like spitballing off the top of my head. Obviously this show involves a lot of like boys love stuff, but I don't like making that a part of how I describe the show. Cause like, I feel like kind of like, as I was mentioning earlier, like that's just, I try to view, whether it's male-female love or female-female or male-male love, it's just like a love story. So I don't like having that be a defining factor of how I, say the show is.
Dude, you literally, you just said the exact thing that I talked about earlier before we started the podcast.
Oh, I wasn't here.
I was talking with Enzo, and that's exactly what I said verbatim.
Oh.
Like, I don't understand.
I mean, I get it.
I get it too, but like...
I wish for a time when that's not part of the conversation.
I want it to be more natural.
It doesn't have to be part of our conversation, though.
Yeah, but Well, I feel
the
like...
anime is so up in your grill about it.
Well...
That's how I took. That's how I thought.
Free section, boys.
Yeah, spoiler free.
There's
Spoiler
no
free.
spoilers there.
To do this.
Yeah. We'll get into that.
The other thing
I would like to give mine.
I want to say
That's
one more
true.
thing because I left this out and I forgot to say it. Well, you know what? This may create a fight. This might cause a fight. So go ahead, Mandy.
Oh, joy. I'm looking forward to that. So, yeah, Banana Fish came from a time when boy love was just first starting out. And I think you have to go into that knowing that to prepare yourself for some of the content. Because I think a lot of it now would be seen very problematic. But if you're interested in that era of manga, I don't know. I enjoy parts of it. I think I enjoyed the first half more than the second half. The second half I felt was kind of disjointed in bits, and we could talk about that later. But overall, I loved the main romance or romantic interactions, if you want to call it that, between Ash and Eiji. I thought they were so adorable. And I think as a crime show, I don't know, it'd be really hard to recommend it to somebody who's just looking for a crime show. But if you're interested in like the history of BL stories, then one that took a different approach from everything else that was at that time, I think it is a very fascinating watch, and I would recommend it.
That's a really good point.
It is. That's insightful because it is from a different sort of time period, and it's almost like a historical in a way.
Yeah.
So here's my comment I was going to make. I hope this doesn't cause a fight. I don't intend it to.
Is this going to involve any spoilers?
No.
Okay.
But especially in the first 10 episodes of this anime, I found it a little, how do I say? I found it a little inappropriate in some ways, I would say.
Okay. And there are reasons for that, which we will get into in the spoilers.
I mean,
For sure.
okay.
I totally get what you're saying.
I felt like largely the story could have progressed without any of those scenes happening.
Yeah.
And I don't think, and I think I could discuss that right now without spoilers.
I don't.
And I think that if people are going to plan on watching the show, they might want to know that kind of stuff is here, because otherwise otherwise you're just going to brick them in the face with it.
Yeah. So I'm gonna transition to spoilers, but I was gonna give a fair trigger warning. The themes in Banana Fish do involve a lot of sexual themes. On the darker side,
sex trafficking specifically.
Yeah, sex trafficking, sexual assault, a lot of that stuff. So if you can't handle any of that, definitely not a show you should watch. So transitioning to spoilers now, you guys have a quick drop in about 10 seconds to get out of here. So thanks for listening. If you're dropping off, if you watch the show and want to stay on, keep listening because we got a lot to say for this one.
Spoilers are coming. Oh my god.
Okay.
I love her.
I know,
she's adorable.
so cute. She's gonna be such an offset with the themes of the show.
And so this is your show, so I think you should continue within the second half.
Totally. So I do want to get into the story because it is a heavy crime drama. And in a very classic way. There's several syndicates. It takes place in New York City, and I will say this show does New York City very proud. I love the way New York looked in this show. It's a crime drama. There are people at play with agendas. There are people with power. There are people with power that are against each other, and a lot of the plot developments are around people, having their own agenda and pushing it. There are allegiances, there are betrayals, and so the story is about Ash Lynx. He had a brother in the military that got kind of screwed by the drug we later find out is called banana fish, and he wants to get to the bottom of his brother got screwed by and
can we just call it that for the rest?
Yeah, well, I'm gonna try to. I don't know.
I love it.
But so Ash is trying to get to the bottom of what banana fish is. Sorry. I
do it every time.
So that's his agenda. That's really what he's concerned with. Throughout the beginning of the show, he meets two Japanese men that come from Japan. One of them is Ibe, who is a reporter, and the other one is Eiji, who is also a reporter. And they're in America to report on American gangs in general. Eiji becomes a major factor to Ash because, as we can now say, they are the ones that kind of fall in love throughout the show. And yeah, so let's start at the beginning. Beginning of the show, as was a lot of setup for me, and it kind of dragged a little bit, but I was very engaged because I like the interactions between the characters. What do you guys think about the beginning of the anime?
I thought it started out really strong. I was drawn into the story. I wanted to know more about what this banana fish was that everyone was talking about.
Yeah,
and I really thought that it was going to focus more on the drug than anything else. I didn't know going into it that this was all going to turn into Ash's quest to get revenge on his...
For his brother, right?
No, not on his brother, but for his whole situation of being forced into male prostitution from a very young age.
Yes.
And it's all about him trying to get revenge on that, and I wasn't expecting that going in. So at the beginning, from I think episodes 1 to 12, I thought were really strong, and I really enjoyed it.
I mean, I can echo you. I did say that to me it dragged a little bit, but only in the fact that they had to take episodes to set up several
Sure.
The cast of this show is huge. Like, a lot of characters matter. They all have a voice with opinions that matter. So to me, it was like, yeah, they had to spend a lot of time setting up, but overall, the show I think did have good pacing, and the action scenes are pretty cool too.
There's something else that I wanted to mention because we were talking about this being an old manga, and I just wanted to give it some background, if you don't mind. It might help a little bit in the conversation. So yeah, the Banana Fish manga, like I said before, was 1985. And at that time, it was very rare. I think before that, the only one that made an impact in the BL scene was The Poem of Wind and Trees, which came out in 1976. And that one started the whole dark themes with rape and drug abuse. And the manga took off. It spawned the entire genre of it being published in shoujo magazines because it was something new. Women were really latched onto it. And it was more popular among women at the time. And so that's what started the entire trope in the BL yaoi scene of rape destroying the innocence and spawning love, which now, unfortunately, we still see today. But so I think the interesting thing about Banana Fish and why it was such a huge impact back then was, to its credit, was that it wasn't showing all of the sexual assault as being fetishized, sorry. And it was more of a very traumatic experience. I think that's why it became the center point of the entire show, or manga, which now it's a show, which is interesting. It seems weird now with it being adapted during today and our standards today, but at the time it was actually praised for the direction it took.
I will say that, not when you mentioned that, like, when I think about it, like, this show is actually really honest with how the trauma of sexual assault kind of fucks someone up. Because Ash is, like, not okay.
Yeah, I think
for
this
sure.
Show, like, I think this show is, it's very heavy. Like, a lot of the themes in this show, especially talking about, the sex trafficking and being a young child and being taken advantage of, and it is a heavy show to watch. Dude. And if you're not prepared for something like that, then it's going to be tough to get through. But and I don't know. I appreciate what they were doing for sure. I don't know. It's difficult to kind of try to have an objective opinion on it, because I feel like it's so divisive and so specific to your individual tastes and what you're prepared for and what you feel that you would enjoy, or it even feels weird to say enjoy, because, like, why would you enjoy something so, like, vile? But, like, enjoy as far as, like, get an appreciation for. It's a tricky one. I don't know.
I didn't really want to get into this conversation, but I feel like
you
are
going to do it anyway,
because, like,
hold on, because are we gonna tie this back to the story? Because we are running, like,
we are. We should probably cover more of the.
But you should get your word out, though. But
because, like, and I don't really like being involved in all this, because, first of all, because I feel like I have a phobia about this type of stuff. But it's like, there are classic movies today that we used to enjoy a lot. And I'll think of something like Revenge of the Nerds. Mm-hmm. And then, like, there's been, like, a social movement that's happened in the last 10 years. And all of a sudden, movies like Revenge of the Nerds are no longer okay because there's, like, a couple scenes in it that are questionable, right? And I'm talking about, like, specifically scenes towards the end of Revenge of the Nerds.
I've obviously never seen Revenge of the Nerds.
Yeah, no, I know.
But I assume there were some sexually explicit
just
scenes.
Just because Banana Fish is made in 1985, mm-hmm. I would say this deserves to be condemned even more than an anime than something like Revenge of the Nerds, because they literally recreated it today and didn't change anything about it. And they're not saying they should change it, but maybe you let sleeping dogs lie. And I'm not really one to get up in arms about stuff like this unless certain things are being allowed to slip by without having anybody mention anything. Because to me, the things that I personally watched in Banana Fish deserve to have eyebrows raised the same way the song, like, It's Cold Outside or whatever, people were losing their shit. Oh, Christmas time, can't play Baby It's Cold Outside anymore. But it's like, this is not that different to me.
Here's the difference, though. The difference is that this show is explaining and showing the horrors of, in this case, rape, which we see, touched on several times throughout the show. It's expressing how that can have an adverse and negative effect on a person's life and how it can alter you in such horrific ways. Whereas some of these other things like, we talk about Goblin Slayer. That is fetishizing and doing it almost for entertainment, whereas this is showing you the darkness of it.
And I don't disagree.
And
but
also, like this show is, the syndicates involved in the show, like in the story, deal in sex trafficking. Like this is like a thing that it's like heavily in context without the 1985 thing. Like it's in the subject matter of the show. Like these people deal in prostitution and sex trafficking. Like sexual themes are like naturally there. It's not like I'm not the writer of Revenge of the Nerds throwing in, sexualizing
as
people
a joke.
As a joke.
Yeah,
like this is like
this isn't a joke.
Sex trafficking is a real world problem that happens right now. Like people are getting fucked over right now with this.
Yeah, I get that, and I just want you to know that I'm not like saying, oh, well, I think that all this stuff in Revenge of the Nerds and Baby It's Called. I'm not supporting all that.
But it's a false equivalency. I think
I'm not supporting all that. I just think, but I thought there were scenes in Banana Fish that were put in there that didn't need to be in there, that served no purpose in the story. The story
towards the end, I definitely agree with you. There was one scene I was like, this did not need to exist.
there were several scenes that didn't need to be there that were put there just for, I don't know, for shock value or for something. Mm-hmm. But like,
I don't know.
It is a fine line.
We can all disagree, but people at least should know that there's a whole bunch of that shit in the show. And if you're gonna watch it, you should at least be aware of it. And
yeah, we gave a trigger warning already.
I mean, that's fine. I'm personally not gonna. I'm not. Never mind. Forget it. Let's move on.
Yeah. You raised...
I mean, we can't. It's an essential part of the story.
Yeah.
But I do want to talk about AJ and Ash's relationship, though, because I thought it was so adorable. And I think it really shows the strength of this director who worked on Free. And I think part of the reason why the second half felt so awkward to me was that I feel like these like little comedy bits work well in manga, but don't translate well into anime. And there were a lot of really awkward comedy parts that felt weird in such a dark, dramatic show. And I feel like she does a really good job with those slice of life little moments, but she's not great at delivering the really heavy hitting drama. And it felt like such a weird it was so juxtaposed in such a weird way that it was off-putting for me.
Yeah, another thing that really threw me off was and maybe this is just because it's a child of the 80s, but like the fact that Ash was so indestructible. He was like
overpowered.
It was like, what the hell is going on? Like,
yeah, it was so silly.
IQ over 200.
Yeah, just walks into a room, kills everyone.
He can pull a guy off of like a cliff with his pinky.
Yeah.
Also doesn't miss. Like has pinpoint accuracy with a fucking revolver.
He's got cheat codes.
His hair's perfect.
He has been stabbed so many times, and I know we're gonna get to the ending eventually, but man, I can't believe he kept coming back. And he went an entire week without eating. I was like,
yeah, it was a bit much.
A month without eating, he said.
Oh, was it a month? I thought
yes, dude, he's indestructible.
Holy shit.
And that definitely like threw me off. I was like, okay, come on, guys. This is a little ridiculous. Right. Like when he's hanging off the elevator shaft and is like bicep curling a grown man. I'm like, what in the world?
I think the Ash AG stuff was super organic. I love their moments alone as well.
I think my absolute favorite moment, which you're probably going to agree with me, it was the part where Ash is crying on AG. That scene was just so powerful for me because it was the moment where Ash lowers all of his defenses and lets the one person he trusts see him at his weakest. It was just, I don't know. I love that scene so much.
Yeah. I do want to touch on so I think the romance in this show is probably it's like really good. Like it's really good. I think it's really well written. I think that something else is pretty well written, even though it's kind of convoluted. And you guys let me know how you guys felt on this, but I think this show handled a bajillion characters probably the best you could.
Yeah.
Handle bajillion characters because each gang had like a bajillion people in it. Each had a boss. Each had an assistant to the boss, and then we had our main cast.
Yeah,
man,
there was a lot to keep track of.
There was a lot to keep track of.
But I do also appreciate how they weren't afraid to kill off people. Like,
same, bro, same. Yeah.
Except Ash.
Well, yeah, he's got freaking plots.
Well, let's talk about the ending.
Yeah, you know one thing I and maybe I don't know if it was the art of his character, but like I feel, I don't know, maybe Ash was just too perfect and too pretty in this show, and it made me feel less for him. Like if he was more of a realistic character, I feel like it would have helped me care a lot more for him.
I mean,
is that weird? I don't know.
I mean, I think it's pretty noticeable.
Like I feel like he was just way too perfect.
Not since Blackjack's
he's
remake.
definitely way too perfect. Yeah.
And it's like, okay, I can't really relate to you, and you have to be able to relate to your main character. That's like,
I mean, do you think there's a reason for that?
I think it's their way of like double affirming the way that everyone like praises him. Like the people that had him as a slave praise him, like put him on a pedestal. His gang puts him on a pedestal. His rivals put him on a pedestal. So like, I think the art direction kind of was just like, yeah, you know what? Let's play into it. Let's like make him beautiful.
I mean, isn't it part of the shoujo genre?
Oh, true.
For sure.
Yeah.
This was
true.
definitely
True.
aimed
yeah.
at the female audience, definitely.
I do recall thinking like maybe 2/3 of the way through the show, I was just thinking, why is everyone so obsessed with this guy? Like everyone wants him. Like all the mob bosses, everyone.
Also,
I think it's because he had that briefcase of information on the banana fish drug,
which I kind of forgot about. Not like forgot,
I
but like
know.
for a moment I was like, oh yeah, that's right. He does have that, because it's like the show didn't even really touch on it.
And that's one thing why I didn't like the second half as much, because it really took a lot of focus away from what the actual name of the show is, banana fish. I kind of completely forgot about the drug.
Yeah.
Right. Oh yeah, because I guess the second half did kind of become like, all right, like we have the information on banana fish, like we have it, they have it. Let's just go kill them because like they did us wrong.
Yeah.
Something that I really disliked towards the end was that the leader of the gang, was his name Golzine?
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah, I call him Golzine in my
The
head.
person who put Ash into prostitution and was his rapist for all of his life.
Mm-hmm.
He was suddenly no longer the big villain, and this random person just comes in. The leader of the
Colonel Fox?
Yeah, Fox. Fox comes in.
Right.
And suddenly he comes out of nowhere. I was like, who are you? It's like we're like 4 episodes away from the end.
Yeah.
I thought Golzine was supposed to be like the big bad guy.
And then
that guy gets to kill him?
Yeah.
That wasn't fair.
Yeah, that was weird. That was it just like pivoted his character.
My voice being gone, I got real upset, and then all of a sudden I started squeaking. I apologize.
That's all right. But yeah, his character like just totally pivoted, and it was abrupt and weird towards the end there. So that, I definitely agree with you on that.
Yeah, it's interesting that they gave him that kind of death when he helps Ash
like a
live.
hero's death.
And, they gave him a hero's death.
Yeah,
really fucking weird. It's kind of fucked though, because it like gives you perspective as to how mentally twisted these people are that run these sex trafficking circles.
Yeah,
that like he's probably dying saying that he saved his son.
Yeah. Jesus
Which
Christ.
is so fucked.
Yeah.
Very, very, yeah.
It's so fucked up, but like that's the world that we are watching. Like that they have set that all up. Like he said several times that he's the one that has the right to kill or let Ash live, and he chose to let his son live. He adopted him in the end, also. Like,
yeah,
fucking so twisted.
Yeah. What else do we want to touch on? Or
we have to talk about the ending.
Yes, we do.
Yes.
Because I felt like I did not like the ending, because it felt like it was such, I don't know, emphasizing that Ash's life is just garbage. Like he can, every time he wants happiness, it's taken away from him. And I want it so badly for the ending to be where he finally gets that little bit of happiness.
Yeah.
And I felt so unsatisfied that Ash went through the entire show being overpowered. He was able to survive all this stuff. Mm-hmm. And then this no-name person comes up and stabs him and kills him. I was like, what?
I mean, I do feel like
so dissatisfying for me.
He did get somewhat of a happy ending. Like, I mean, he got overall like what he wanted, and then it was just like, But I don't like I do okay in a lot of cases I do appreciate when they're not afraid to like kill off the main character at the end of a story. Like if he's accomplished his goal and he has like achieved, like the pinnacle of what he's been trying to achieve, and then in the end he either sacrifices his life or what have you. But it has to be done in a noble way. It can't just be like, all right, well then we kill him. It's like this was such a cheap death at the end.
Yeah, I agree.
I think so. I don't like that he died, but it's consistent with the show because all of these powerful people that saw themselves indestructible in this world all died. And this show and the Ash dying kind of just further plays into the fact that like no one is God, and if you are in these circles, you can't let your guard down ever. And
it's true.
Ash let his guard down once in that moment. And the guy that stabbed him, Tao or Lao, whatever the fuck his name is, even when he stabbed him, he was like, why did you let your guard down now of all times? Like, why today? Mm-hmm. And I think that's because Lao is a character we saw before, the guy that stabbed him. He was the older brother of Xing.
Right.
And I think Lao was just going through some mental fucking loopiness, and he didn't think he would actually pull it off. Mm-hmm. But he happened to find Ash in the one moment where Ash wasn't thinking straight, on his way to go see Eiji to fly to Japan with him.
Do you think he was trying to commit suicide, like he thought Ash was going to kill him?
Huh?
Do you think like he was trying to commit suicide? Like when you said that he was that part where he said, why did you drop your guard now of all times? Do you think he thought Ash was going to deflect it and kill him?
Yeah, I think Lao was going to go on a suicide mission to go kill Ash, knowing that he is not powerful.
Right.
You know what I mean? I think he never expected to actually win against Ash, but Ash, for the first time in the entire anime, was like not paying attention to New York, and then he died because that's the price you pay when you do that one grave mistake of how this city works. So it's super sad that he died. I don't like that he died. I really wanted him to fly to Japan and be with Eiji.
Oh, I know. I wanted them to be together so bad.
Bro. But it's kind of a beautiful tragedy that in the end,
see what you're saying.
Ash ain't shit.
Mm.
You know?
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
All right, how about some scores?
Man.
How about some scores?
Scores? Okay.
Do you want to wrap it up? Give your piece. Mitz, you want to go first?
Yeah. I did not enjoy Banana Fish very much. I was kind of on board until maybe episode very early in the show, probably episode like 5 or 6. I've been scoring shows based on how much I enjoyed them, and this show was a tough watch for me. I like the number one thing that turned me off in this anime was like, I get it, Ash is the greatest thing ever. Like I get it, but like I don't need to be told that 36 times an episode, you know?
Yeah, I feel you there.
I mean, it really turned me off. I wasn't interested in the story at all. I wanted it to be more about the drug, and it wasn't really all that much about the drug. I feel like they didn't even like... I feel like it only even came up in like a few episodes, you know? And I was bored. Like, I really was. I was just bored. There's lots of gunfights and people getting shot and, you know, escapes from labs and all this, and it's, you know, and I mean, like, I thought the pacing in the beginning was real slow, and I just like I was actually surprised by the ending because considering the number of impossible situations in which Ash didn't die, I was like,
definitely,
and I was like, oh well, he's never gonna die, so he's gonna find some like James Bond times 60 way out of this situation where he's gonna like do something impossible because, you know, he shits gold and his IQ's 200 and his hair's perfect and his butt muscles look...
He shits gold?
His butt muscles look perfect when he walks, and he's so, you know, he's so dangerous and, he's so dangerous and he shoots a gun with perfect accuracy. I'm just like, God, it's killing me. And I didn't enjoy Banana Fish. Like, not at all. Not even a little. You know, I was pretty sure... You know, I'm gonna be nice. I'm gonna be nice and give it a 2. 2 banana fishes out of 5 because I didn't enjoy it. Like, this was one of those shows where I really had to force myself to watch it. Mm-hmm. It took every minute of the week to get through it because it was so long. So That's just how I feel. It just wasn't for me. The Mafia and I don't know.
Yeah. All right. I guess I'll go. So, because I feel like Enzo and Mandy have like the strongest opinions of the show. So, yeah, I mean, kind of as I said at the beginning, I'm not a fan of Mafia type shows or movies, but I try to put that aside when I score a show. So, my bias aside, based on the quality of the story, the plot, the pacing, the animation, all of that, the characters, the way they were written and developed. What?
Sorry, I just got some information. I'll tell it during my.
Okay. So based on all of that, I think Banana Fish was. It was an interesting premise, but I felt like it wasn't handled as well as it should have been, and as well as it deserved to have been. It deserved to be handled. I think they tackle very serious topics like sex trafficking, and rape, and the psychological damage that comes along with that. But I felt like they didn't, in my opinion, do it in as well of and as respectable of a way as I would have liked to have seen. I think the characters were varied, but the main character was just, it was like John McClane times 11. It was like, and I couldn't connect with him. And I feel like you have to be able to connect with your main character. The animation was good, but that's not enough for me to man. I really want to give this a higher score than I'm going to give it, but I have to be real. I will give Banana Fish, I'll give it a 3 out of 5. I wanted to give it a 3.5, but I can't.
Mandy, did you find a lot of info? Because you can go last if you want.
Yeah, so somebody just messaged me on Discord. It said the mangaka based Ash off of River Phoenix because she was such a huge fan.
Yeah.
And she thought River Phoenix passed away while she was making Banana Fish, and she had Ash die at the end because she didn't feel like it was right for him to live if River passed away. I just thought that was interesting.
That is interesting.
I mean, it doesn't change anything, but I just thought it was an interesting little tidbit.
But it's kind of, that is interesting, but it's also like, well, that's not how you're supposed to write a story.
Right. I just thought it was interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. So overall, I thought the first half was very strong. The second half, some of the comedy bits, like I said earlier, were really awkward. But overall, I actually really liked Ash. I thought he was, I don't know, I just thought he was really, I was interested in his traumatic story and in his path for, in his desire to get revenge on all of the shit that he went through. I do think it was very awkward that they didn't focus on the banana fish drug, which I was expecting most of the focus to be on, with it being the name. So that was really awkward for me. But and like you said, the animation is great. I can't remember any of the music hitting me very well though. But overall, I enjoyed it more than I thought I was going to. I definitely think it has a lot of flaws. And yeah, I think overall I would give it a 3.5 out of 5 because I did enjoy it more than I thought I was going to. But I want AG and Ash to end up together. And I don't like that ending.
Yeah.
What'd you give it, Mandy? Fuck, I just spaced out.
3.5.
Okay. Yeah, so I am someone that likes crime drama. Like, I like it a lot. I listen to several true crime podcasts and stuff like that. So this one did like scratch that itch for me. Whether it was done super well is debatable, as you can see with how we all feel about the story and how it was handled. I think it did have to take its time to set up a lot of stuff, but after the setup, the pacing was pretty consistent. In terms of characters, I think Ash is too perfect. I didn't even realize I felt that way until you guys pointed that out, but you're right, I felt that way. I love AG. AG's perfect. He's a good boy.
Oh, he's such a cute cinnamon roll.
He's a good boy. I like a lot of the side characters a lot. I think the side characters play a huge role in the show.
We didn't even talk about Shooter.
Oh, Shorter one, yeah. Shorter's, his pink mohawk was iconic. Not gonna lie. Mitsuki, I pictured you in that pink mohawk for a lot of the show. Don't know why.
I wish I had any kind of a mohawk.
Yeah. Don't know
Or
why.
any
but
kind
I
of
just-
hair at all.
Yeah, I don't know why, but I spend a lot of time picturing you with a pink mohawk. Don't know.
Pink or not, I'll take it.
But yeah, I just for the sake of brevity of time, and if you guys want to discuss with me about Banana Fish, please hit me up on socials and everything. I really like the show. I love the art style. I'm proud New Yorker. New York was portrayed beautifully. I walk past Bryant Park in the New York Public Library every day when I go to work. I'm going to stop by tomorrow and literally sit in the chair that Ash died in.
Oh,
Yeah,
Oh,
I'm gonna do
yeah.
it.
why
I'm
would
gonna
you
do
do
it.
that?
I'm gonna do it tomorrow. I don't care. I'm doing
Guys,
it.
we went there when we went to
Yeah, I've
Anime
been there a few
NYC.
times.
Are you going to read
Yeah.
a 4-foot tall stack of books in one night?
Yes, in like 20 minutes and get a hot dog. Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, art is amazing. Music, I think, is just very fitting. Nothing super like to remember. I think it handled story as best as it could for how much was going on. But as Kazuo mentioned, it's kind of more jack of all trades instead of a master of all of these things. But overall enjoyment, I do tend to give a half point up if I do enjoy something just overall through feeling. And I think this one handled trauma really well. It handled romance organically, which is hard to do. And I'm gonna give it a 4 out of 5. 4 dudes out of 5.
Man, we go all
Yeah,
over the
we ran the
place.
spectrum.
That's great.
Spectrum, yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
I was really debating between a 3 and a 3.5. I decided to be generous.
Yeah, I
I think
wanted
the
to
New
give
Yorker
it
in me is up here being biased, TBH.
yeah, I wanted to give it a 3.5, but I was just like, I just had too many flaws. I couldn't do it. So
So the average is a 3.
okay,
Which I'm okay with.
yeah, I feel like
I'm okay with that.
It's like I mean, because some people are gonna love it, some people are probably gonna hate it. It's one
And
of
some
those
people
shows.
can't even watch it, honestly. Like, this is gonna trigger people.
Oh yeah,
sure.
Oh dude.
Yeah, like 100%.
All right. So on that note, we do have some notes here from our social media.
Oh,
dude,
true.
Icy
True.
Rose. So Icy Rose did a Twitter poll, just basically kind of gauging everybody's views on the show and what they would score it if they did. It turns out that 47% of people would give it a 4. 26% scored it a 5.
That's a big chunk
Yeah,
for 5.
16% a 3, and then 11% would score below a 2. So generally, pretty high scores up there. Not a lot of people that would have failed it or given it a very low score. The Facebook votes are pretty similar. So good spread there. Not a lot of people that hated it, but certainly a range looks like between 3 to 5. We have some comments on here. I don't know if you want. Do we want to read those, Mitz?
I mean, we're really long.
Okay, all right, we'll skip those. But we do appreciate Icy Rose just checking with the listeners, and that's something we want to try to do in the future. Is after we review a show, kind of gauge the audience's view of it and get their input. So we appreciate you guys taking part in that. And we're gonna go ahead and skip the mailbags for today because we're super long.
We are.
I think we really enjoyed that main topic though.
Yeah, the main
Yeah,
topic.
that main topic was
Yeah,
awesome.
Yeah, it was really good.
I'll go along for a topic like that any day. Like, that
Yeah.
was fun.
Definitely, we got to like flex our anime knowledge muscles.
Yeah, right.
Or lack thereof.
For people that are like, these guys don't know what they're talking about. They don't watch anything. I'm like, bitch,
How you like that?
Dude, we watch way too much.
you know how much anime? You know how much garbage I watch.
Oh man.
So
I showed off the 6 anime I've seen.
nice. All right, so we're going to go ahead and bring this home, guys. Again, thank you so much for listening. If you've watched us live, thank you for tuning in. And if you haven't watched us live, please do. Head over to our YouTube. Just go on YouTube and search for AAA Podcast, and you will definitely find us. You can find us on our website, AAAPodcast.com. Go to AAAPodcast.com/join to create an account and sign up for access to all of the additional anime/hobby/hentai episodes that we record for your listening pleasure. Make sure you subscribe on iTunes or any other place you can find podcasts.
Any other tunes?
All the tunes. iTunes, YouTunes, MeTunes. We all tunes.
We're all tunes.
we all tunes.
We all tunes. You can find us on Facebook, facebook.com/groups/AAA podcast. And of course, the Discord is available. Link on the website. Head over there and come hang with us. Thanks again for watching and listening. And we appreciate you. Peace.
Bye, guys.
Love you guys. Bye bye.